a couple of technical difficulties, but we're all good. We're live now. Hello! How's everyone been doing? It is a lovely... It's Wednesday! Oh my gosh. Do I finally get to say it? Do I get to say the line? The ancient legendary line from Jimmy. Dear sweet Jimmy. It's Wednesday, my dudes! Ah! It's Tuesday. No, it's Wednesday in my heart. Yes. How have you guys been doing? Today we're listening. We're watching another spooky analog horror. Although technically it's an ARG as well, but we won't be doing the ARG part because I'm pretty sure I couldn't really analyze anything. Oh, Yuuka. Hello, Yuuka. I'm in the dark about this. Is Tuesday here still, Yuuka? Oh, well, it's almost a Wednesday, so it's close enough. It's close enough, surely. Hello, Yuuka. I'm excited for you to do the Bloody Mary challenge at 3 a.m. Gone wrong, breaking all the rules. She came to my house. The cops are called. Gone sexual? But yeah. This one was recommended by one of my dear friends, dear Josie. She slapped it into a DM, mailed it off to me by carrier pigeon, and she was like, "This one's good. You should watch this one." So today we are watching this one that Josie has recommended us. Yeah! Thank you, Sergeant Reaper, for the super chat. Arigato! Yuuka, I sent your reaction of my PSU shroud cover to V1 Tech, the company that made my Yuuka PC parts. They loved it. So now a company of 20 people saw you. Oh no, 20 people have seen me. Scary. I'm not being sarcastic or anything. I'm honestly terrified. No, do not perceive me. Ooh. You should watch this. It said 3 months ago. I don't think it was 3 months. It was a little while ago, but hey, you know, I'm not good with technology, so there's 94 people seeing you right now. Don't look. Just don't look. Quick chat, go blind so we don't overwhelm Yuuka. Yes, I know what'll make you guys go blind. Watch this. Wait, it's not working. Eh? Wait, come on. You've worked for me before. Why aren't you I probably broke something the last time I messed with the controls. Never mind. I was gonna turn bald and show you guys my magnificent shining forehead, but I guess that's not in the cards today. Technology. Oh no. Yeah. I lost my ability to bald. I'm so sorry, everyone. I hope you'll still love me the same. We lost the bald model. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I'll pretend. My eyes. Thank you. You guys always know what to say to make me feel better. The reason we evolved and made technology was to see Yuuka bald. Yeah, I gotta reset that. I gotta figure out what went wrong there. Man, my computer is absolutely shitting itself today. I'm sorry. Yuuka, if we paid in super chat, will you ever not mute your nose blowing? I mean, I don't know. It's just kind of embarrassing, you know? Like somebody listening to you like poop, right? It's just embarrassing. Cause I can't, if I don't mute, I can't go as hard as I usually do, you know? I can't like blow my nose with passion. I can only like blow my nose while trying to sound not as disgusting. Right, you know? And I don't want to be holding back like that. Is it just me or is your model lagging a bit? It might be lagging a little bit. Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. Might just because my light's not on. Oops. That's cowards talk. I'm gonna make them stalls echo. No! streams without mentioning Poop Zero. That's not what it's about though. The stream was that thing was about me talking about me pooping or peeing myself. It's different slightly, but you know, the subtlety is there, right? Thank you, Egg Vanilla, for the super chat. Arigato, spoopy time. Love Nexpo's work. Gotta meet him and other spoopy creators at a con. For all the fricked up stuff they cover, they're super chill and nice. Even got to play Roblox with Barely Sociable. What, for real? That's so cool! Heck, that's so cool. Man, I wish I could just travel out of country to go to cons, like, whenever I want. But man, it is difficult. It is difficult. You know, I'm not really the kind of person who travels a lot, so it's really freaky for me to like have to go anywhere to do anything. Like, I don't think I've ever left the country to like go to an event in particular before. It's all just like, oh yeah, we're specifically going to this country just for a holiday. Just for a holiday. Like, we never go because of events. Like, it's not just like, oh yeah, it's like a football game or something. I don't know. None of my family members really care about that kind of stuff. But I do want to go to a convention. Like someday. Like one of the big ones, not like my shitty local ones. Yuuka, have you been to the Big Banana or the Big Sheep though? The what? The Big Banana? The Big Sheep? Eh? I have a coworker who pounds on the stall and shouts loudly to try to cover the sound of their dumpy making dumpies. Wouldn't that just make it more obvious? That's literally like, you know those posts that are just like, how to cover up your fart? And then they just do something really loud. And everyone can still hear the fart. It just draws more attention to you, you know? Banana? I'm sorry, I don't know what's wrong with me today. My accent is broken. It does what? Yeah, it's weird. What's up with that? You're not alone, Yuuka. I'm also planning and hoping to travel to other places with the fam. I mean, I don't think any of my family would understand me going to an anime convention, but hey, you know, I can dream. Have you at least went to the Big Pineapple? The what? Why are you guys talking about the big things? Big fruits? Big animals? Or the Big Apple? What is the Big Apple? What's the Big Apple? What are these things? Not a he, by the way? Wait, what? Wait, how do you know? How do you know, right? Because you guys will go to different bathrooms, and so how would She's so loud that you can just hear them from the other bathroom, from outside the bathroom, because she is yelling loud. What the heck? What the heck? My theory is that either she has really painful poops, or like she actually thinks that covers up her pooping noise. But like, why? That's so weird. That's so weird. I guess the screaming carries. Huh? Have you been to the Big Cherry on a Big Spoon? I have not been to any large locations before. I'm sorry. It travels the vents, pierces the very walls. Oh my god. She has volcanic diarrhea. No! No, I did not want to read this today. I did not want to read this today. What the heck? Whoa. Never gone to the Big Lettuce? I've never gone to the Big Lettuce. Isn't Sydney a big place? Yeah, but I don't know. It's kind of a mess. It's kind of a huge fucking mess. I don't know. Personally, I've only been to Sydney like a couple times. It's always been a big mess. Like, the traffic there is terrible. And like, the roads are so confusing. And it's like, Sydney is, you know, it's just like, if I'm gonna get this confused, I might as well get confused to like, I don't know, New York or something. It's too stressful. Nah, Sydney has a big coat hanger, does it? Does it? needs to go to the Big Prawn over by Bunnings. The Big Prawn. That sounds like a food truck. That sounds like somewhere I could get like a shrimpy sandwich. Oh, Sydney, like the place, not like that girl who bullied me in high school. Yeah! I keep forgetting that some people are randomly named after countries and places. Then again, I have no right to judge. I was named after a plant, so... Is that Matt riding a shrimp? I don't know. Big cities are usually very congested and kind of nasty. New York City had trash piled taller than me on almost every street. Wait, really? Trash? You think I could catch a glimpse of Danny DeVito if I go to New York? Oh my god, Yuuka, how do you call yourself Australian? The Sydney Harbour Bridge is nicknamed the coat hanger. Oh, I'm sorry, I literally don't know anything about Australia. I hope you guys already know that I'm actually a fake Australian. I'm cosplaying more as an American than as an Australian, you know? It's terrible. I struggle a lot. I struggle a lot with it. Honestly, all of my friends are like speaking in their Australian accents and talking about eating prawns and oh, I say diaper, you know? I say diaper. I get yelled at for saying diaper. I spell color with no U, you know? I'm a big mess. I'm a big mess. All right. Let's start watching this thing. Right. I keep forgetting. We're here to watch things today. Fake Australian Yuuka's a mimic, guys. Yeah, I'm a mimic. I'm not a real Australian. Hold on. Alrighty. Let's get started. Hold on. Let me switch over to our watching stuff screen. Hello, here we are. Don't let the blinding light confuse you. This is a spooky video. Spooky video. Thank you, Sergeant Reaper, for the super chat. Arigato. That's fine by me. You're adorable and fun. Thank you. You're so kind. Too kind. Thank you, Top Secrets, for the super chat. Arigato. Unleash your Australian accent. Look, I feel like my Australian accent would be just about as good as another random American doing an Australian accent. I don't want to do that. I feel like that would be embarrassing. I feel like it would be embarrassing. Yeah. Get your popcorn, boys. Yeah, let's go. Just gonna play the video. We're just gonna look at what happens.
Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
Woo! Whoa, America! Whoa! Whoa! It sure is America, guys. Are you feeling it? Are you feeling the patriotism? America! Are we putting the flag at half-mast? Is this one of those memorial things? What's happening? Okay. Flag is the die. Good night, flag. Are you feeling the America? This is so freedom. It looks like the flag has a sausage hanging out of it. Huh? How did you get that? I did not see that at all. Yes, I'm currently saluting in front of my bald eagle photo. Yes, state mandated. Oh! Margaret Jacobson. What happened? What happened? Oh. Frank Strother. Who are these people? Are they dead? I think they're dead. Thank you, AK, for the super chat. Arigato. This is every morning at school for me. Oh. Including the missing people or just the funky song? Please say just the funky song. Sherry Travis. This a tragedy, perhaps? A tragedy? Uh-oh. Even the babies are not safe. Oh no. What do you think would happen if you called that number? I don't know. Maybe they'd give you a funky code or something. She went missing. Can't you read? No, I read very badly. I'm sorry. Just a funky song. Ah, okay. Thank goodness. Do you have to salute the flag every day in America? That's a good question. Do you? For research for my cosplay. Are these images AI generated? I'm not too sure. They kind of look a little bit uncanny, right? I don't think these are real people. No. Oh, I see. What's happening? It's blank now. What? Huh? Oh, we're on to the second video now. Okay, this one's called Visitor Satisfaction. It is a company training tape for Liminal Land, I guess? We do hand over heart here. The salute is a military thing. Ah! Welcome to Liminal Land! Oh! Orientation, Course 6. We are so grateful to have you join our team and hope we've given you a warm and memorable welcome thus far. As you've seen, we pride ourselves in ensuring that each visitor's experience is nothing short of positive. In this tape, we hope to teach you how to spot dissatisfied visitors. Crud, we missed courses 1 to 5. Yeah, we did. Oops. Example. Okay? Okay? This is the person. Okay. Okay. You try. Alright, let's give this a go.
Look at the photo.
Alright guys. Who is the dissatisfied customer in this photo? Holy shit, what the fuck is up with their faces? I'd say maybe the guy in the middle with the very large screaming face. I don't know. The other guy in the middle also as well looks dissatisfied. I mean, they all kind of look quite dissatisfied. So, I don't know. We'll see. I'm probably not very good at this apparently. Who is it? That one. All right. This is the person. Why does it feel like we're getting like a hit squad on them or something? It's just like, this is the person you're gonna have to kill. Alright, guys, who's the dissatisfied customer in this picture? Who? I wonder. Bottom right. Yeah, I'm seeing that as well. They look quite discomforted. Alright, who is it? Yes, this is the person. Okay.
Look at the photo.
Oh! She doesn't look like she's dissatisfied at all. Alright, she doesn't look satisfied. She looks very happy. I don't know what this course is talking about. My innate human senses are telling me that she's enjoying the ride. She's smiling. She's having a good time. She's like looking up at the sky. Yeah, Grandma looks like she's having a great time. I don't know what you're talking about. Gosh.
Look at the photo.
All right. Who is it this time? Who's the Oh my goodness. What happened to that girl's upper lip? What happened to that girl's upper lip? What happened there? Oh my gosh. Like, I know I shouldn't be judging people by their appearances, but like, whoa. Oh my gosh. All right. The girl with the lost upper lip, she's not having a good time. That's fair. That's fair.
Look at the photo.
I would also not be having a good time if my lips disappeared. Oh, you guys have some very wibbly wobbly arms. Oh, wait, but who was it? The park is a ligma balls? What is it? Okay, these guys are not having a good time. This is the person. There's multiple people. Oh my gosh. Oh. Okay. Oh, if you encounter a dissatisfied visitor, be sure to make their day by suggesting additional park activities. When you're ready, inform your manager to initiate Course 7 with passcode RITE. Did you see it? Yeah, the red circles, it was crazy. At Liminal Land, a happy visitor is a forever visitor. Oh, that's not good. Wait, that sounds... Oh, wow! Look at that transition, it's so smooth! God damn it, they distracted me! Hi, Yuuka, wanna go to the park with chat blushes? I mean... And lose my upper lip? I don't know. I mean, it's not that I don't like you guys. It's just like, I prefer to keep my lips on my face. And I hope you guys can respect that decision. Alright, anyways, this is the third video. Investigation tape, the Liminal Land anomaly. This one seems very interesting. Let's see this one. Lips are overrated. I mean, you're not wrong, but like... Case file 112182. What have we got? The anomaly within Liminal Land. You like your upper lip more than us? Yeah, but my upper lip, it houses my mustache. In recent months, NMSP has been made aware of an anomalous attraction at Liminal Land Park. Ooh. The ride is believed to be tied to the numerous cases of facial deformity as noted by Lake Valley Regional Hospital. Oh. So this ride is causing the facial features to distort. Spooky. LVPT has declined to cover these cases on local television, as visual depictions are not suitable for a general audience. Oh, pink sand! That's so cool. Thank you, Toshi Kretz, for the super chat. Arigato! We hope this record will serve as a suitable and alternative case study for the Liminal Land anomaly. They're the lip takers. Lip takers. The third installment of Helltaker. Lip taker. Name Rick Ackerman. Ackerman! Ackerman! Like from Attack on Titan? Oh my god! Holy shit! Age 42, height 5'11", occupation sales agent, medical notes, mild anxiety. Alright. What happened to Rick? Rick visited Liminal Land in July of 1988. He has a wife and 3 children. Yuuka, what do you do when there's an unsatisfied customer? Kick them in the mouth? Kiss them on the forehead? Or suggest park activities? I think you kick them in the mouth. I mean, Look, I'm just judging by what previous employees have probably done, and like it looks like they've been kicked in the mouth, so maybe I should kick them in the mouth as well. He visited during my birthday. Oh no! It's a sign. You're next. Watch out! He allegedly snuck away from his family to ride the Liminal Land Anomaly alone. Oh. Don't do that. Don't sneak away from your family to ride rides alone. I guess? Oh, his leg! His leg broken! This photograph was the last time his family saw him alive. Damn, that's not good. That's not good. I thought the ride only made facial deformities. Why did it kill him? The following photo is an illustration of his facial structure after riding the Liminal Land Anomaly. Okay? Let's see this. Rick's deformity. Oh. You don't look so good. Doesn't look unsatisfied though. He looks like a pretty happy camper. Sweet dreams, Rick. Rick's cause of death remains under investigation until further notice. It's creepy though. Alright, who's this? Lena Sorensen. Age 44, height 5'4". Oh my god, she's almost my height. Occupation teacher. Medical notes NA. Alright. Lena brought her first grade class to Liminal Land in the winter of 1984. Alright. This is her in her class. While there, Lena decided to take the children to the park's Paradise Playrooms. Okay. Yuuka, what would you do if there was a child right in front of you? Would you A, kick them all the way to Japan, B, pat them on the head, or C, ignore them? They can't hurt you if you don't acknowledge them. I think A or C is the correct choice here. I think B is a little weird. So let's just face them with aggression and or terror. I think that's the best way to approach children. Yuuka, you're 4'11", so coping. Shut up! I'm tall! Ah! Lena remained with the children for 7 minutes before she suddenly left the building through the rear exit. Oh. The children were left alone for 8 hours and never noticed she left. Man, these children suck. Yuuka, please, you're literally one of the shortest people I know. Shut up! Lena's body was discovered in a patch of dirt behind the Liminal Land Anomaly. Oh. Yuuka, how does it feel to know children are taller than you? I hate you guys. You guys suck. The following photo is an illustration of her facial structure after her body was recovered. Lena's deformity. Let's see. Oh, she's so happy. Look at her go. She's so happy. Oh my goodness. She's looking much better than before. Look at that coy smile. It's turned into a big smile of glee and happiness. Look at that. Thank you, Alex Jacobo, for the super chat. Arigato, almost your height. That's a good one. Stop it. Stop it. I'm not that short. I'm not that short. You guys are jerks. Lake Valley Police refuses to elaborate on their findings from the crime scene. We're supposed to be seriously watching this Liminal Land experience, guys. Stop it. Stop making fun of my height. Maria Ramos, age 48. I'm seeing a trend. Why are they all 40 plus? What's up with that? 5'3". Oh, she's shorter. Oh my gosh. Occupation director. Medical notes, arthritis. Okay, what happened to Maria? Maria visited Liminal Land alone in November of 1982. Maria explosion! No! Maria allegedly rode the wheel before making her way to the Liminal Land Anomaly. Okay. That day, the Liminal Land Anomaly was reportedly closed for repair. That's a good point. Why don't they just close the ride? If it's causing so many issues, why don't they just go like, yeah, no, nobody can ride this anymore. This is like causing people to like die and shit. And, you know, we're just not comfortable with that kind of thing, you know? Why can't they just close it? Money. But like they have other rides! They have other rides though! Park employees recall seeing a woman near the ride's controls, yet did nothing to question or stop her. Okay. Shortly after, the ride reportedly engaged, with the woman in the furthest rail car to the rear. Why so much detail in this one? The Liminal Land anomaly was allegedly closed due to a faulty failsafe, causing the ride to run multiple times per session. Thank you, Egg Manila, for the super chat. Arigato. Yuka's not afraid of Liminal Land because she's not tall enough to ride any of the anomalous concerning rides. What do you mean? I'm tall enough. If I wear my platforms, I'm tall enough for anything. You guys suck. You guys are jerks. That day, the ride ran non-stop for 26 minutes. Oh. The following photo is an illustration of Maria's facial structure after the ride was brought under control. Maria's deformity. Oh boy. Yeah, she's dead. Oh my goodness. Bald! She lost her hair! Bald! Oh my god! Jesus Christ! Bald! Maria's incident marks the first known death by the Liminal Land anomaly. Wait, what about that first guy? Didn't he was dead too? Did not he was also dead? What? The investigation by the NMSP is ongoing. Okay. To protect and serve. State police. Okay. Oh, okay. What first guy, Yuuka? You're imagining things. What do you mean, what first guy? What do you mean, what first guy? We watched the first guy, right? He was just like, oh yeah, bye family. I'm gonna ride this ride. Fuck you guys. Right? We were there. We literally just watched that. Under investigation would suggest that a cover-up is underway. Maybe. Now you're crazy. The broken leg guy. See, you guys do remember. So either that or they showed it out of order. Yeah, what the fuck. Alright. This is found footage. Welcome home. License for private home employee viewing only. Any public performance, copying, viewing, selling... Hold on. Selling or other use is strictly prohibited. All other rights reserved. What was that? Viewing intending for the Karen management team only. Any outside viewing, altering, damaging, or distributing of this tape will result in immediate termination. Any parkgoer found with this tape will be disciplined with extreme prejudice. Oh! What kind of discipline? Do you have to like ride one of the spooky rides? Karen management! They have a whole section of like the employees for that now? To manage Karens? Alright, what we got? Oh, the vapor waves. It's happening. Well, it's been nice knowing you, Yuuka. A staff member is on their way. Oh. Liminal Land! Wow! What does that even say? Home video! Yay! Home video! Greetings, new home associates! Thank you for joining our team. We are thrilled to have you here. We look forward to seeing your contributions to the betterment of Liminal Land and our parkgoers. In other words, welcome to your new home. Woo! Why is it turning red? So what is home? Holistic and opportune mutual experience. Okay? The Home Project strives to encompass a feeling of comfort and loneliness long associated with the American suburbia. I see. Simply put, home is where we cater to our guests' desire to stay in the fun for as long as possible. We absolutely must maintain the stability and image of a home to ensure our guests stay as long as possible. Must stay as long as okay. As you will see momentarily, we have strategically placed homes slightly ahead of the park's entrance. Oh, okay, so this is a part of the park. Well, let's see what else is here. We've got the Paradise Playrooms. That's where the teacher took her little babbies, right? The centrifuge sounds fun. Where is the wheel? Where's the wheel? I don't see it anywhere. Huh. Oh well. Alright. There it is! I never would have noticed without that red circle. Thank you. Home is an opportune place to stay. Here our guests can venture into the park and access all of our esteemed attractions right from the starting line. Whoa. Now you may ask us, doesn't home seem rather small and far away from a lot of the park? Well, there is more that meets the eye, lying just beneath the surface. Oh, okay. Yuuka, there's no hitch and wheel. Say that again, but slowly. Here's a visual comparison between the total area of home residencies to the overall size of the park. Whoa! Since home is situated directly beneath the entire park, let's overlap the two and zoom out so we can more accurately showcase the true size of home. So it's like an underground hotel! Oh, it's huge! Look at that! Oh, we're still oh my god, it's huge! What the fuck? How big is it? Oh. Course 0921. I think we missed a couple of courses, guys. I think we missed a couple of courses. I'm not too sure. But like 921, that's I don't know, that's a pretty big skip. What was that text? I want to see what that text was. What is this? Warning, do not attempt to explore or ascertain the true size of the home facility. Even we are entirely unsure of its true size and extent. Oh. Is it like the back rooms then? Or is it like the TARDIS or like scary? It is very important that we spot and correct any sort of mess or inconvenience thoroughly and swiftly. We do not want our guests to feel uncomfortable and wish to leave prematurely. It is time for you to use what you've learned here so far. Try to spot the inconvenience in the following images. Okie dokie, what have we got here? What's the inconvenience? Do you see it? Oh, the window is fake, I guess. No? Oh, what was that? What was that? What does it say? I can't read that! I can't read that! Floors, windows, or thresholds that can potentially serve as an home convenient. It is the windows and doors. Okay, there you go, silly. Oh, okay. Let's try that again, shall we? Oh, all right. Case study. The following found footage. Wait a minute. I wanted to try locating the inconveniences. What the fuck? I wanted to. Okay. I guess we don't get to. The room is not so bad. I mean, it looks a little grungy, but I mean, I would live there, honestly. That bed looks pretty comfy. Like, sure, it's a little grody looking, but I'm sure with some elbow grease, it'll look great, right? All you have to do is like paint the walls, maybe slap some grout in some of the cracks. It's all good. It's fine. There's no PC or outlets. Oh, that's true. The following found footage tape will serve as an integral example in showcasing how improper containment measures lead to anomalous occurrences for home residents. Case study. Pay attention and thoroughly note what went wrong. We never want to see incidents such as this one again. Note: at the end of each segment, a message will briefly be displayed. Each message will indicate one or more of the following: important information regarding anomalous occurrences, what to avoid when present in similar situations, what kind of behavior we hate to see our subjects exhibit, which areas are prohibited from being accessed even by Karen associates, and what to immediately correct following the viewing of this tape. Okay. I wonder what Karen stands for, or if it literally is just referencing the ferryman. Alright, let's see. What was that? What did you say? What were you trying to communicate? The found footage tape will now begin playing. Why did you have to blur that out? I just wanted to see what he said. Okay. We're walking through a tube. Okay, now we're walking. And it's less of a tube. It's kind of like a street, I guess. Are those windows painted on? Was that a face in the window? Oh my gosh. Coming soon. It's a picture of a house. That's exciting. Oh. How did they get it to look like this? This is so cool. Right, there's houses. Yep, those are houses. I can confirm that this house is made of house. Oh my god. What is that? An Ultramart? Ultramart. Let's go. They've got shopping centers. Or Liminal Mart? I can't really tell. I can't read it. Alright, what's in there? Is that a barbecue? No, that's a door. Okay, my bad. Totally fake. You can see the strings. Okay. I love how uncanny these houses look. Like, they look like houses, but there's just like something off about them. Oh, screaming. That's good. I love to hear that. Okay. Alright. Yes? But do they have canned bread? Good question. Okay. Okay. Ooh. What's with the clown music, eh? Okay? Do not follow strange sounds. Okay. Do not enter a stranger's home. Fair? I also don't do that in real life. I just let sleeping dogs lie. It's whatever. Somebody screams in the distance, I just walk faster to home. Do not follow strange clowns. That too! Strange clowns are also dangerous. Do not follow them. Sometimes I just enter random homes for the lulz, you know? No, do not do that. Listen to the Karens. The clown music was for you, Yuuka. Oh. But known clowns are okay. Yes, known clowns are okay. If your mom hired a clown, it's a known clown, then it's probably okay. Notice block this door. Oh, somebody didn't do that. Oh, what's up? Never leave a passage unblocked. Curiosity will become regret. Is Yuuka a known clown? Technically, I guess. What if I'm a clown? What if we're all just clowns? Oh, spooky noises. Your Honor, I wasn't entering public property. I was just goofing around. Exactly. Oh. What's happening? Your breathing is so loud! Shut up! Okay? 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 I'm waiting for the jump scare. I'm waiting for the jump scare. Is there gonna be a jump scare? I'm scared. The atmosphere is really good. I just like breaking it because I'm scared. Do not go in there. That's fair. I also would not like to go. Oh, it's the back rooms. Oh my gosh. Wow. Look at them go. What happened? It just became the back rooms. Thank you, epic failure. Failure. That's me. I'm epic failure. Thank you, epic failure, for the 14 months and the free super chat. Arigato. God gives his silliest battles to his funniest clowns. Yay! Thank you, Toto95, for the super chat as well. Super chat. Arigato. Boo! Did I scare you? Hi, by the way. Yes, I was very afraid. I'm sorry. Whew. So, like, home leads to the back rooms. So, like, what I was saying was right then. It is the back rooms. What the heck? They aren't in the front rooms anymore, so clearly it'd be the back rooms. Yeah. What does it say? May never be true. You'll never be seen, may never be right. You are already dead. Damn. So true, so real. These words, they're poetry. Oh no, low battery warning. So you are just running in a circle. Oh my, I'm almost indeed. Stop. You guys. Oh, what is this? We found something different. This isn't the back rooms. Oh, and then he dies. Oh, it's the clown music. It's back again. So how did we get this guy's camera if he was never seen again? I mean, wasn't there that thing? Like, I'm a little bit knowledgeable in backrooms lore, but apparently, like, because the backrooms shift around a lot, sometimes they become, like, items lost inside. You can just suddenly find them near an entrance or something. Those who seek departure will lose themselves. Oh my gosh, what am I saying? We hope you learn from others' mistakes. Hope you have a pleasant day. Hear it? Liminal Land. Oop, I just started watching someone stream. Don't worry about it. It's Emma. Oopsies. I accidentally clicked the next video button. That's fine. That's fine. That's no problem. But yeah, how was that, guys? What do you guys think? It was relatively spooky, right? I shitted my pants. Yeah, I shitted my pants too. Watch it. I will watch it later. Who streamed Omiya Emma? My love. What a cutie. Anyways, let's see. What one in the poll as well. By the way, make sure to vote in the poll if you feel like it. Alright, for now let's talk about what we seen. What? Huh? What did we see? What does it all mean? Should I read the comments? Maybe I should read the comments because I can't analyze for shit. Oh wait, that was Yuuka, huh? It was kind of smelly. Oh, excuse you. Thank you, Egranilla, for the super chat. Arigato. The most realistic part of the series is that if a company found the backrooms, it would monetize it and turn it into an overpriced amusement park hotel. I'm pretty sure there was already like a thing where people were talking about like using the backrooms as infinite storage space. Right? And then they found like a bunch of anomalous organisms inside, and they were like, you know what, this place kind of sucks. I'll be honest, this place kind of sucks. So they just kind of stopped. Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Pimmy, for the super chat. Arigato. The house reminded me of when I was in a museum and I opened a door that said "Do not enter." I was met with a scary noise and a place different from where I came from. So wisely, I closed the door and didn't explore further. I think you could have been a victim of the backrooms. Be careful. Oh, Yuuka. Why? Oh, Yuuka. What did I do? What did I do? Yuuka should have put a spooky little guy in the background. Yeah, watch out, guys. There's actually a Yuuka in there. And free energy. Have you seen how many lights they have down there? I bet you could hook up to the lights and free energy. That is true. Why has nobody thought of this? They need to investigate the light bulbs. Where is all this energy coming from? Who is providing this energy? Is it made from screams? Is it made from death? Either way, if you could harness the power of death, that would be a lot of energy. You know, things die all the time, right? Heck yeah. Heck yeah. It was a good PSA about not breaking and entering into a stranger's house. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. And don't follow clown noises. Of course, don't follow clown noises. Wait, was this ARG based off the Cuddling with Foxy and Pirates Cove fanfic? Wait, what gave you that impression? Thank you, Huntress, for the super chat. Super chat. Arigato. Have you or anyone in chat ever visited the endless bathrooms liminal space in a dream? Seems pretty common. Does it? I've never been there. I've never been there. My dreams are always about like McDonald's or something. McDonald's is my liminal space. How will this affect the 5 cuddles with Foxy lore? Stop! Been there. School bathrooms and locker rooms. Oh. I don't know. Whenever I'm in like in a backrooms-esque location, it always feels like I'm outside. But like in my neighborhood. But like my neighborhood's all messed up and everything connects all weird. And it kind of looks like an old Resident Evil game where it's like fixed camera angles. I don't know. It's funky. It's funky. Endless bathrooms? I do visit bathrooms a lot in dreams, but they were never endless. Weird. Scariest thing that's ever happened to me was when I was young, my father asked me to get something from the shed at night, and I saw a pair of eyes behind a shelf. Scared me to death. Huh. I don't know, maybe it's because I live in like an older house, but we have quite a few like weirdly cursed objects here. Like, I remember like as a kid, one of the previous livers in this house of ours, they left like this weird string of dolls. Yeah, it's like a weird string of dolls, and it's really creepy. They just left it in the back of the shed, and it's just like, whoa, what the fuck? What the fuck? That's so creepy. They just left it there. What's up with that? Why? Why would you leave your cursed dolls here? It's creepy. Yeah, it's creepy. I was freaked out by them. And you kept them? Well, I'm not gonna touch them. Fuck that shit. And my dad's just like, oh, they're kind of cute. They're like decorations. And it's just like, Dad, are you seeing the same thing that I'm seeing? This is very creepy. Thank you, Top Secrets, for the super chat. Arigato. Disney already has residential areas with park grounds, so people already live in amusement parks. But do they live in the basement of amusement parks? Ah, Jen Josie, hello! Please help us make sense of the situation. My grandma saw an owl, which apparently is an omen of death, and she covered the windows and mirrors for like 3 days. That's fair. Like, I'm sure the owl didn't mean any harm, but like... yeah, that's fair. Superstition, it's fair. Understandable. Give it to Meatloaf. If she hisses or runs away from them, they are cursed, otherwise should be fine. I'm not really sure if Meatloaf's evil sensor works, though. Because she runs away from everything. She gets scared of many, many things. Like, I'll literally put a cup on the ground and she'll hiss at that. It's weird. It's weird. Thank you, Kotori87 Gaming, for the super chat. Arigato. The first ship I served on had at least 3 ghosts. Confirmed? 2 of them, the melting face girl and the RC clown, lived in the reactor compartment, but the man with the tall hat showed up in the engine room. That's terrifying. What the? Can we get some more context? Can we get some more context? I want to hear about this. This is interesting. Yuuka gave me a wedgie, called me a nerd, and forced me inside my locker before shutting the door. Does that count as the backrooms? No! What? Goodbye, Yuuka. I have to do a stream. Good luck with your stream. What is an RC clown? Does it have a remote? Does it make clown noises? Do people... Are people greatly enthused to follow it? That's cool though. It's cool, it's terrifying, but it's cool. They're named? Yeah, they're named ghosts. Apparently ghosts get more powerful if you give them names. So good luck with that. Is it a funny clown? A funny clown or an evil clown? That's a good question. Sorry, I gotta go. I'll watch the VOD later. I promise. Bye-bye, Yuuka. Bye-bye! Good luck with your stuff. More monster sightings. Ooh. Oh, by the way, guys, remember to subscribe to Dead Josie. She recommended this to me, and it's been really interesting. The faces are super creepy. Like the distorted faces, that's very spooky. It's very spooky. It definitely gives an uncanny valley effect. It's super cool. Sometimes Miss Whiskers meows at walls and freaks out like she's seeing a ghost. My cat doesn't do that. I don't know why, but my cat doesn't do that. Maybe my house is exceptionally not haunted for some reason? I don't know. Melting Face Girl is exactly what she sounds like. Her face melts off when you look inside while the reactor is critical. The RC Clown is the clown who jump scares people in the reactor compartment. Wait, these are real things? That's kind of scary. Dead Josie? Is there an alive Josie? Josie lore? Maybe? Me on my way to name my ghost Pee Pee Poo Poo. Ah, the Pee Pee Poo Poo ghost. Wasn't that like the whole plot of like that fake movie poster? Is just like, you're laughing now, but you won't be later when it kills you. Da 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 da. As a person that's always wanted to see a ghost and been to a bunch of haunted places, I can confirm that they smell desperation and won't show up if you want to see a ghost. That's kind of sad, isn't it? That's kind of sad. There'll be people that don't want to see a ghost at all, and they'll just be like, boo, spoopy doopy. But like, when you want to see a ghost, they'll just be like, no, I'm embarrassed. I got stage fright. That's sad. That's really sad. Like, imagine bringing a friend to like a haunted place and just being like, I want to see a ghost so bad. And your friend's just like, I don't want to see a ghost. Ghosts are scary. And your friend just sees the ghost the entire time. You're sitting there like, this is just a regular fucking house. Where's the ghost at? Imagine how disheartening it would be. Like, you guys meet up later because everyone splits up in horror movies, and they're just like, man, the ghost, it was so scary. It was so scary. Oh my god. And you're just like, what? What the fuck do you mean? There was no ghost. Ugh, I'm out. Dematerializes. Yeah, ghosts just love playing hard to get. Cats, they say, keep evil spirits away. I guess it's good that I have a cat then? Is it just because cats like seeing evil spirits and the evil spirits are like, no, it's embarrassing? Is Dead Josie a ghost? I do want to know as well. Josie, are you a ghost? You are dead, right? You are dead, right? Are you a ghost? Are you spoopy? Reminds me of a YouTuber sister who's sensitive to paranormal activity. Huh, funky. I don't know, this kind of stuff really freaks me out. Cats are probably like, look at these losers, Lamau. I'm very much alive. What? False advertising, I can't believe this. She's been alive, Josie, this entire time. We've been fooled. The man with the tall hat was a shipyard worker who died during the conversion from SSBN to SSGN. He watches people work in the lower levels of the engine room after midnight. Is it because he wants to learn how to drive the ship or something like that? That's cool. That's cool. I've been to an abandoned insane asylum at night and saw nothing. I am pissed. Oh no, my image of Josie is shattered. Yes, guys, let's not bring this anywhere outside of the stream. You know, Josie has a reputation to uphold. Right? Alright, anyways, let's check the polls. Have you guys voted on the story you guys want to hear? Alright, hold on. I need to get a calculator out. I need to get a calculator out. Because you guys have voted in like each separate thingy. So I have to get my calculator. I can't do mental math. I have to use a calculator. I'm too dumb to do mental math. Let's see. 36 plus 12. That's 48. Okay, so it looks like Something walks whistling past. 1 overall. At 50. 52. Yuuka? Why Yuuka? What do you mean, why Yuuka? I have to add up the scores because you voted weird. Yuuka, please. Why Yuuka, please? What? No, it's Bunker. But you guys voted, like, overall, right? 27 plus 23 is more than 50%. Yuuka can't count. What do you mean I can't count? It shows the percentages. Yeah, but like I split the titles. I split the titles. Yuuka, I don't know. Okay, I guess I'll just go with the numbers then. We'll just go with the numbers. Wait, are choices 2 and 3 the same video? Yeah, I did it really badly. You can mess the poll up. Yeah! There's like a character limit on the poll, so I can... Oh, Yuuka, I'm doing my best, alright? We'll do the bunker then. We'll do the bunker. 27 plus 23% is 50%. It is. Wait, hold on. It is. Wait, so is it all 50? It's all 50. Wait, let me just re-poll it. I'll just re-poll it. I'll just re-poll it. 1 is 48%. I know, right? What the fuck? What is happening? What the fuck is happening? We'll re-poll, alright? We'll re-poll. 1, Spooky Bunker. 2, Whistling. 303. Alright. What is the choice here? What do you guys want to watch? What do you guys want me to read? We'll read one of these creepypastas. They're both relatively long, so we might be here for a while. Yes. Bunker got 63, but also like skull emoji. Yes, skull emoji. I just pain. Alright, I'll give you guys like a couple minutes to think about it. I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna drink some water. Yeah. What does the bunker take place at? A bunker? Question mark? But who went missing 3 years ago? What? Yuuka, can you whistle? This will impact my decision. I did my best. I did my best. How's it going? It looks like Spooky Bunker is winning, so I'm just gonna end the stream. The stream? No, I'm gonna end the poll. The stream is going to keep staying here for a bit. Yes. Close the window. There's some air current. No, that's me. Now roll your R's. Was that the whistling at 303? Sadism. Oh my gosh. Said in a way like the bite of 87. Is that the whistle? Is that the whistle of 303? It looks pretty clear. 51 versus 48. It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any... YouTube poll! The most stupid thing. Goodbye, Yuuka. The stream is ending. No, wait, come back. It's not ending yet. I went through several ads to watch this. Welcome! I'm so sorry you had so many ads to watch. Oh, it's just adorable, Yuuka. And you can't roll R's. I can't do anything. I can't do anything, man. Alright. Hit them with another ad. No, that's too mean. I'm not gonna hate you guys with another ad. You guys are just gonna, just keep watching. It's so good. Oh my gosh, someone just rolled a dice and crit. What the fuck? What happened? Bro just rolled a nat 6. What the hell? Thank you, Tough Secrets, for the super chat. Arigato. Can you whistle while rolling R's? No, I don't think I can. I don't think I can. I'm sorry. It's still a fucking 6. Why are they all 6? Why is all 6? 8. Oh gosh, thank goodness. Not a 6. That's good. Yuka trying to roll her R sounds like a small dog getting angry. That one was moist sounding. Yeah, it was a little bit gross. Sorry. Alright. We are reading. Oh, I forgot. Hold on, let me scroll up. Spooky Bunker. Right, Spooky Bunker. Bum. This is Spooky. Sorry. I found the bunker of a prepper family who went missing 3 years ago. By Christian Wallace. Posted in r/nosleep. Bunker time! Heck yeah, bunker time! Yuuka Forgore. I did Forgore the title. Alright. Hopefully this isn't gonna be too serious, so hopefully it's not too spooky. Let's go! I Forgore. Yeah, I Forgore. Okay, stop. We get it. I Forgore. Holy shit, this is really long. Okay. This is like big essay kind of deal. Normal girl voiceover? Alright, we'll do normal girl voiceover. Narrator with a cold. Yes, that's me. That's me! I have a cold! I am the narrator. Yuuka, what about your water? I got my water right here. Listen to this. I got a bigger bottle. I don't know if you guys can tell by the acoustic that is bigger, but it's bigger. Yeah. Woo! Alright. Here's an appropriate background for a horror story. You just sent a picture of Applebee's. What do you mean? Applebee's? Is Applebee's haunted? Are there Applebee's in there? Applebee ghosts? I have half a gallon. Keep up. I'm doing my best, man. I'm doing my best. It's funny how she's always sick when reading scary stories. Yeah, what's up with that? Why am I always sick? Like the ghosts in my house just curse me to be sick whenever we read horror stories. The heck? What do Applebee's sound like? It's a good question. I imagine it's like the buzz of an apple. Sorry, it's like the crunch of an apple, but like combined with the buzz of a bee. Maybe. Yuuka being sick is the default. I don't know why I'm sick so often. I literally don't have... it's not like I have any issues with my immune system or anything. I'm just sick all the time. I'm stupid. Anyway. Thank you, Dark Knight Auric, for the super chat. Arigato. Lights are off. I'm settled into bed. Spook me, Yuuka. Alright.
Dr. Daniel Vance was a smart man. Too smart for his own good, maybe. 40 years old, a lecturer in fluid dynamics, with a mind made of shapes and numbers. No one knows why, but one day, on a whim, he crunched the numbers on the apocalypse and came to a troubling conclusion. He didn't share exactly what it was he deduced, but given that he immediately quit his job and liquidated his many assets, it's fair to say that it wasn't positive. Swept up in the wake of his tremendous upheaval was his wife, a 24-year-old PhD student who had grown infatuated with Daniel some time before. She loved the strange bear of a man who could just as easily build a log cabin as he could explain the idiosyncrasies of an asteroid's orbit.
Oh man, I cannot. These words are too big. These words are too big. Sorry.
Speaking to Daniel always left you with the profound impression that he was right. So when he told her what he wanted to do, she agreed. 15 years and 5 children later, the Vances were living in the distant woods just beyond my hometown. They were enigmatic, richer than the Pope, and extremely serious about their prepper lifestyle. But they were also funny, easygoing, and incredibly compelling to talk to. Larger-than-life survivalists who swept into town with bizarre requests that thrilled local businesses. Vast quantities of cement, iron, lead, and steel were all shipped through the remote mountains so that the Vances could build their shelter. The advanced methods they used to keep it secret were legendary. Daniel had once spent 6 months earning the license necessary to drive HGVs up to his compound so that no one else would lay eyes on it. And on one occasion, when a company had refused his request for GPS tracker-free vehicles, he brought them out wholesale, so they had no choice.
Oh. This is terrifying. People with money are scary. Ooh. True, log is a difficult word. I'm doing my best. Log is a very big word. It's a word that I don't use often. But yeah.
So when they stopped appearing in town during the pandemic, when requests for food and goods stopped and all contact was dropped, most attributed it to lockdown. They had a bunker and had spent their entire lives training to be self-sufficient in the face of civilization's collapse. Even Alexander, the youngest at just 3, was already collecting firewood as a chore and learning what local plants were edible. Most of us just assumed that if anyone could ride out the COVID without breaking a sweat, it would be the Vances.
Oh no, it's getting too real. We talked about COVID. Sorry.
The reality turned out to be something else. When the worst came to light, we discovered that Daniel had used the pandemic as an excuse for a dry run. The family intended to spend 6 months in lockdown and essentially beta test their fallout bunker. 3 months in, and the sheriff received a distress call on the radio. Coordinates were provided by the hushed voice of a sobbing child that most assume was Alexander, and even though that's never been proven. The police arrived and found the bunker still sealed. It took hours for emergency responders to cut into the door. All the while, efforts were made to contact the family within, but to no avail. Once inside, police were left dumbfounded. There was no one to be rescued, no bodies, no survivors. There was evidence the door's locking mechanism had failed and trapped the Vances inside with no way out. But if so, where had they gone? Beds and cots lay everywhere with moldering yellow sheets, buckets close to hand with stains all around them. Some doors were barred, others smashed to pieces. There was even evidence of makeshift quarantines and, in places, what looked like violence. The police, usually a fantastic source of gossip, were not forthcoming until the town demanded answers, and the sheriff was forced to offer only the barest of outlines. An outbreak of a waterborne illness had struck the Vances down not long after they were locked inside and unable to seek help. Rumors of contagion were overstated, fueled by the unrelated rise of COVID. Whatever containment had killed the Vances, it was non-organic in nature. No need to panic. The Vances' loved ones have been notified. The bunker was going to be demolished, and we could all put this terrible tragedy behind us.
Door stuck! Door stuck!
Of course, we still had questions. Thousands of them. Why hadn't the family called for help? They had radios, computers, smartphones too. They were survivalists, not Amish. Where were they? What happened to their bodies? Why hadn't they simply left? We shouted these and more at the town meeting, but the police simply refused to comment. For most of us, the excitement lasted another week or two until we realized we weren't getting answers anytime soon. Besides, the pandemic was on full swing, and most of us had other things to worry about. The tragic story eventually faded until it was just one of those awful things in the town's history that we didn't talk about. I was as guilty as anyone else of just forgetting about it. I certainly never expected to find the bunker out there in the woods. Faded police tape still on the open door that hung wide open with scorch marks around the lock. It stood out in the woods like somebody had cut a hole right in the fabric of reality. The darkness so deep and black it almost ached to look at. The sight of it made my heart drop into my stomach. It radiated pain. Does that make sense? I think some other part of my lizard brain picked out details that wouldn't become apparent to me until I got closer, like the bloodied finger streaks that stained the handle from where someone had scrabbled furiously at the lock without success, and the tiny viewing window that had been smashed with a hammer that still lay nearby. I needed only to glimpse it to imagine the family taking turns to stand there and scream into the woods, desperate for rescue. Under any circumstances, I would have run. But I had gone there looking for my dog, and my light revealed a few wet paw prints making their way down the dusty concrete tunnel. Half Bernese and half collie, Ripley is the sort of dog who trembles in my arms when a storm buffets the windows and needs his paws held when I brush him. I love him. I do not have much of a family, or a wife, or even many friends, but I have Ripley. And I could no more have turned around and gone home to an empty apartment where I would have to sob my grief away than flap my arms and fly. He was my dog, and I'd raised him since he was a puppy, and I wasn't going to leave him out in those woods. I went in after him. I didn't know what to expect, but I knew it wouldn't be good. Whatever the police had found, they had not only kept most of the morbid details to themselves, they had also lied. The bunker was not demolished, or even sealed off, in fact. Looking at the occasional blue latex glove tossed aside and 1 or 2 broken police issue flashlights, it seemed like the last people inside had been in a hurry to get out. Given this was where 7 people had presumably died, I assumed it was someone's job to clean it all up. But the corridor looked largely untouched. Just a few meters in, and manic writing started to cover the walls, the desperate scrawls of a lone survivor left there to be rediscovered like cave paintings. Most were deliberations on how to get out, diagrams, blueprints, equations and formulae, all focused on the door and the circuits responsible for the faulty lock. I instinctively assumed that they belonged to Daniel, and that he'd been the last to die. What a god-awful fate for a man to outlive his children, and yet it got worse. Slowly the writing changed from equations and plans to a desperate scrawl. The same few phrases repeated over and over. 5 doors, 5, not 6. 6 didn't make it, 6 doors, 6. It seemed like the kind of thing you'd find in an asylum. A psychotic rambling punctuated only by 6 paragraphs right at the end. Each letter was impeccably neat, and each small paragraph was topped with a beautifully drawn Christian cross. Elliot Vance, aged 15, a gifted guitarist. He liked boys even though he thought I didn't know. I loved him with everything I had. He would have made a great man. Alicia Vance, aged 14. She liked to paint and to shoot. She had her mother's mean streak. It would have served her well in the future. Elia Vance, aged 8, the smartest of us all. These were Daniel's memorials to his family, and seeing the words lit up by torch was a haunting insight into the overwhelming despair he'd endured. He must have realized he wouldn't get a chance to speak at his family's funerals or write their obituaries. This was his last desperate way of making sure the world might one day know them as he did, as real people. The words marked the end of the tunnel, standing adjacent to the trapdoor in the ground. It was not open, but the tunnel came to a dead end immediately afterwards, and Ripley's prints disappeared at the hatch. I feared he might be in danger, but I still stopped and looked at the bunker door 20 meters behind me. The once gloomy forest looked so bright, even on this cloudy day, the air dotted with rain. A part of me felt like I was leaving the whole world behind as I began to climb the ladder down. I entered a large circular living space that was packed with furniture and little nooks and crannies. The walls were covered with folding beds and tables, and every inch was multifunctional. A dining space would become a sitting space, which in turn might be where someone slept or even exercised. It all depended on what particular bit of furniture you unfolded or unclipped or unfurled. 7 people in close quarters, nowhere near enough privacy. It made sense that they went with this cluttered, overlapping use of space, but it was still a large room, bigger than most studio apartments, and there were a few corridors that led deeper into the earth, telling me the bunker had unseen depths. I looked for some sign of my dog, and soon found his trail. But this far from the rainy copse, Ripley's prints were starting to fade. After barely a few meters, they petered out vaguely in the direction of a nearby door. I wanted to follow, but stopped myself from rushing onwards. It was unlikely Ripley was getting out any other way, and I'd do us no good getting hurt myself. I decided to take a look around and quickly spotted a dinner table. If I needed proof that the police had not bothered with cleanup, this was it. The plates were still out, the food rotten to a strange blackened husk. A child's hat lay across one place setting. The once creamy fleece turned a sickly green and yellow. The chairs had their backs reinforced with wooden beams and fitted with long grooves, so that something the width of a nail could slide into them. And on each of the cushions was a foul-smelling stain that looked oddly like an ass print. I touched one with the gloved hands, and the material crackled audibly. Whatever it was, similar stains were on the cutlery and plates, and there were even handprints of it firmly placed into the tablecloth. At first I thought it was blood, but that wasn't quite right. It was too contained to be from leaking blood. On the back of one of the chairs, a stain tapered exactly where a woman's waist would be, like a near-perfect silhouette. I shivered as I remembered that Miranda Vance had always been a slim woman, and wondered how she had left her imprint on the gray fabric. Using my torch, I saw that these stains repeated in the oddest of places. Yes, there were some on the beds and blankets, and even patches of plain floor exactly like you might expect in a room full of sick people. But why did one stain on the floor bear such a strong resemblance to a child huddled in the fetal position? And why was the same stuff all over the TV remote, and on books and shelves and board games too? Everything from sofa cushions to DVD boxes to piles of dirty laundry were covered in the same dried brownish material that gave off a foul coppery miasma. I found the jigsaw particularly baffling. Someone had set up another table with 4 chairs, all modified with the same back support as those by the dinner table, and had a jigsaw laid out with 4 separate piles, but only one was depleted. The rest looked largely untouched, almost like someone had portioned out pieces for 3 other people who had absolutely no interest in going along with it. Maybe Daniel had tried to keep up morale with his family while they were sick? God help me. If that were true, I couldn't help but to imagine the poor man sat there with his loved ones close to death, desperately trying to encourage them to click their own pieces into place while they faded in and out of consciousness. Something about that room emanated madness, and the longer I stayed down there flicking the bright disk of light from my torch from one detail to another, the more I wanted to leave. One door had wooden beams nailed across it. One sofa had been partially disassembled. Multiple beds had been burned, and all of the light bulbs had been removed and put in a box on the kitchen countertop. Looking up at the ceiling, I finally had some insight into why the police were so confident that the Vances had not survived despite never finding their bodies. Someone had jammed a human finger into one of the empty sockets, almost like they expected it to glow with the flick of a switch. What was it about this place that caused the people to leave and never return? Not even to take that finger and test it for signs of illness, or even just to confirm who it belonged to. I decided it was time to hurry up and find my dog. People had died in that place, and while I'm not superstitious, I can't be the only skeptic who has done the calculations in my head and realized it costs nothing to be respectful of ghosts. That bunker was cramped, terrifying, and the air stank so bad I started to worry if I'd get sick myself. It served no one any good to linger, but I'd be damned if I'd just walk away and leave Ripley to rot down here. It's not like he could climb a ladder and get out on his own, even if I wasn't entirely sure how he'd gotten down in the first place. Summoning what little bravery I had left, I called out and broke the silence, something which felt like a terrible taboo in that god-awful place, like screaming in a graveyard. "Ripley!" I waited and hoped to hell I'd hear the pitter-patter of his paws. For the longest of moments, there was only the kind of silence that makes you wonder if someone, or something, in the darkness is holding its breath, trying to look like another patch of nothing, biding its time until you finally turn around and show it your back. The TV came on with a blurt of white noise that was so loud and sudden that I cried. I threw my arms up and nearly fell backwards onto a rolled-out sleeping bag that looked like it had spent a week in the sewer. By the time I realized what had caused the noise, I could already hear a tinny rendition of Daniel Vance's voice. I realize the issue here. I need to emphasize just how little I understand anything that's... I frowned at the screen as I approached it. It showed a greenish infrared view of the bunker with Daniel up front and the dinner table behind him. It was grainy and hard to see, but I could clearly tell that his family were sitting in those chairs. Miranda was the first to fall ill. Looking back, it makes perfect sense. Miranda often went into storage to fetch food for cooking, and we found it behind one of the refrigerators. So that's... shit. One of the figures in the background slumped onto the table with a loud clank and sent a plate spinning off into the ground. Shit, Daniel muttered as he got up and grabbed the woman by the shoulders and sat her upright. Miranda never did like my cooking, he snorted a laugh as he fussed with something at the back of the chair. The rods are much better than tape. All those hours spent taping them upright to the chairs. Never worked, but the rods, they fit right into the spine. And with a little modification, I can slot them into the chairs. That way, everyone is able to join in for dinner. I'm working on something similar for family game night. Daniel wandered over to the camera, and with a grin, he lifted it from the tripod and scanned the dinner table. What I saw almost made me drop my torch. His family were long dead. Gaunt faces, missing noses, lips that had receded to reveal awful grins. These were corpses, plain as day, even when viewed through such a low-resolution image. The only thing that made them seem remotely alive was the way their eyes still reflected the infrared back, so they glowed in the dark. And yet Daniel seemed oblivious to it all. He tousled Elliot's hair, kissed his wife on the cheek, run a hand across one young girl's shoulder. He even picked the young Alexander up from his high chair, and I assume he coddled him. I didn't know for sure because I looked away, unwilling to see the poor boy up close. Eyes averted from the screen, I couldn't help but pan my torch across to that same dinner table and shiver as I finally realized what those stains were. Not quite blood, but close. liquefying flesh, left alone for months. Daniel had not put his family's bodies to rest. Instead, he had moved them around from place to place, and puppeted them, living life as if nothing had really changed. Looking at where those stains had settled, I saw a clear pattern emerge. He had put them to bed. He had set them for dinner. He had propped them up to watch TV, or gave them their favorite books. They even sat there as lifeless husks while Daniel waited for them to complete a fucking jigsaw. The idea horrified me to my core. Back to work. It's obviously not part of the original designs. No room on the other side, not even on the blueprints. Elliot didn't believe me, and why would he? I made every inch of this place, but I did not install that door in the storage room on the bottom level. I checked the cameras, and some of the photos I took during the build, and the wall is just blank. But the door is there now, and it must lead somewhere. I don't even know when or why it opens, but it does. And the next time, I'll be ready, because I have to know what's on the other side, and why it did this to us. Alone down here, often all asleep at once. Anything could have slit our throats and been done with it. But it didn't. It took its time, and I have to know why. It took our radios and computers and phones, one by one, none of us noticing until it was far too late. I kept telling the kids they needed to take better care of their things, and even as they complained, I just assumed the phones were lying behind some shelf. Where else would they go in a locked bunker? But it wasn't the children at all. Looking back, there were so many signs. Who kept taking away the lights? Who kept draining the batteries in our torches? How long did we live with it before we finally realized we weren't alone? Was it here every step of the way? A door out of nothing that leads to nowhere, at least most of the time, because I know for a fact it doesn't always open onto a blank wall. There's something behind it. I can hear it shuffling around in there, wet breath rattling in its lungs. A horrible sound I hear roaming these halls when it thinks I'm asleep. I listened to Daniel, fascinated by this strangely compelling rant, when movement caught my eye, an infrared camera running in the dark, its image a roiling mess of uniform noise. What was it I'd seen? I paused the tape and rewound. Squinting, I saw 2 pinpricks of light in the darkness just over Daniel's shoulder. Slowly, the image resolved itself in my mind. I knew what I was seeing, and it turned my blood to ice. Miranda Vance had turned her head, and her lifeless eyes glowed as she fixed them on the back of Daniel's head. Not even any point at leaving in the stage. I'm no doctor, but that door is giving off enough radiation to, well, kill a family of 7. If none of us had touched it, being in the same room is risky, but not lethal. Given how sick we've become, it's pretty obvious our curiosity got the better of us, one by one, and we all got too close. Or maybe not. Maybe that thing on the other side came through and did this. I don't even... Wait, what was that? Daniel turned and the camera stopped recording. The image of it froze on was of a lone man, bright as a star in the camera's lens, facing off against unknowable darkness, broken only by 6 pairs of white, glowing eyes.
So scary!
Sorry. I became painfully aware of my position relative to the table, and I had the terrible premonition that if I had turned, those chairs would not be empty. I would see the Vances, all of them. Daniel as well, waiting for me. Heads turned, bodies left to rot for years in the dark. Behind me, something shifted. It breathed, loud, quick. I knew what it was. I knew. It came at me so fast that when I felt something hot and wet touch my hand, I screamed, only for the presence to suddenly recoil. But then, without hesitation, it leapt at me and bore me to the ground. I wept as Ripley licked my face. He was shivering, and worst of all, silent, which was not normal. He was not a quiet dog, not when greeting me and not when excited like he was now. But whatever he had seen down there, he clung to me and dug his paws into my shoulders like he wanted to be cradled over the shoulder. Something he had been too big to do for years.
It's the dog! Oh, it's the dog! It's the dog! It's the dog! Ha! It's the dog! Okay.
Oh, you fucking idiot! I cooed in a soft whisper, and even in the dark I could feel his tail wagging. Joking aside, I felt nothing but relief at finding him. Let's get the hell out of here. I picked him up, straining a little under the weight but refusing to give in to tired muscles, and made for the ladder. It wasn't easy climbing the 3 or 4 rungs to the hatch, but I managed it and gave the hatch a shove. First 1 hand, then 2, again and again, with everything I had, but still that hatch refused to budge. Shit! I cried while pounding at it with my fist, but all I achieved was a sore wrist. The hatch had jammed when somehow the handle had been snapped clean off. Now I need a pair of pliers or something to cut through the metal bar locking it shut. My fingers couldn't move it, nor could I brute force the hatch open. The metal bar was an inch thick, and at the very least I'd need some tools to get at it from this side. At least it's fixable, I thought as I climbed back down and caught my breath. On one wall I noticed a simple diagram of the bunker made in chalk. It had 3 floors. The bottom was storage. Daniel had mentioned that before, and I noticed that he had drawn through it with a large X, and the top floor was labeled quarters, where I stood now, but the middle floor was labeled as workshops, and it was there that I realized I'd find what I needed. There was one door that opened off onto a concrete stairwell, and, standing at the top, I shone my light down the spiraling guardrails, unsure of what it was I hoped to see. There were only harsh shadows and the sense of something foul rising up on the air, a smell that tickled my throat and burned a little in my lungs. Had the police even gone down this far? Had they seen what I'd seen on that TV and just left? Somehow I thought it was unlikely that that had been enough to send the entire sheriff's department running. So it was something else that had done it. Something that had been enough to terrify dozens of armed men. Something that was almost definitely down there. The door. I went down quietly. At first I considered leaving Ripley behind, but after losing him the first time, I decided I'd rather risk it just to know he was all right next to me. Besides, he was being quieter than I was, and I didn't feel like going down the stairs on my own. He accompanied me with only the quiet click-clack of his paws on concrete, a sound I found deeply comforting as I barely managed to keep my torch from shaking in my hand and my breathing steady. Down one floor, and I found the workshop, exactly as you might expect. A large space filled with generators and fuel and water tanks and boilers and heaters and pretty much everything and anything you'd need to survive, but which you couldn't put outside due to fallout. Wires, pipes, and tubes ran from one end of the room to the other, and even years later, most of the machinery still hummed in the pitch-black emptiness, an idea I found deeply unsettling. Taking one look at that strange tangle of harsh shapes and industrial figures looming out of the walls and floor, I shivered and looked around, quickly finding a small area Daniel had cordoned off for his own use. About a fifth of the total floor space. There was a large workbench and some seriously high-end machining equipment, all very well used. Lathes, buzzsaws, drills, belt sanders, wielding torches, everything a man needed to do it himself. And Daniel had been busy. I'm not sure exactly what it was he'd been working on, but there was an arm on the bench. It sat atop a pile of papers that had slowly turned brown over the years, until the whole thing looked like it had been soaked in tobacco spit. On the whiteboard was a faded but still visible diagram of what looked like, to me, a ball and socket joint. I thought of the tape, of Daniel's little mechanism to keep his family upright, and then looked at the arm and suppressed a momentary gag reflex. I don't know if Dan had been working on posable limbs, or just a way to put the decomposing remains back together after they'd started to fall apart. But the size of the arm suggested a preteen child, and he'd left it out on the surface like it was a disassembled clock. It was also missing a finger. Just how fucking crazy was he? I wondered as I pinched my nose with one hand and began overturning boxes looking for a hefty pair of pliers, or maybe a hacksaw. Ripley backed away from the noise, but once I made sure he wasn't going anywhere, I carried on grabbing and pulling at box after box, hoping I'd find what I was looking for. Anything to break that fucking metal bar. In the end, I managed to get a pair of bolt cutters, a crowbar, and a hefty-duty pair of pliers. One went in my pocket, one went down the back of my jeans, and the other was clutched in my fist, too large to be tucked away in my clothes. The bolt cutters felt hefty in my hand, which was a bit of comfort, but that feeling didn't last long. Something moved in the darkness. Out there, in the twisted jungle of shadows cast by all those pipes and wires that ran from one machine to the next. A figure moved, thin, but unmistakably human in its outline. I couldn't help but remember what I'd seen on that tape. Surely it couldn't have been real. Maybe Daniel had rigged something up, some fishing wire and a motor, maybe? The idea that those bodies had been moving on their own. I couldn't be sure of it, could I? It was a frightening idea, one my mind had latched onto out of sheer panic. That was all. And then I saw them, a pair of white pinpricks reflecting back at me from the depths of that cluttered room. Ripley, already behind me, had nuzzled into my leg, pushed even closer against me, and let out a barely audible whine under his breath. The behavior of a dog who was terrified, close to pissing himself with fear. Just a bit of metal, I told myself as the light shook so violently in my hand that I struggled to see straight. Just 2 shiny bits of metal. They blinked and began to come towards me. If I had any doubts left, they were dispersed by the sight of a pale white hand emerging into the light. I ran straight to the stairs and went to climb them. But only 1 or 2 steps in and I saw something gripping the handrail on the top floor. A moldy clump of flesh, only just recognizable as a fist. The flesh withered until the fingers were basically bone. Without meaning to, I brought my light up out of habit and saw the bloated face of a hairless corpse glaring down at me. I couldn't even tell you if it had been a teenage girl or the 60-year-old Daniel. Either way, I instinctively turned around and found another body shambling towards me out of the workshop. I was trapped. Nowhere to go. By the feel of warm fluid on the back of my leg, I could tell Ripley had finally pissed himself. An adult dog, tail between his legs, shivering like a puppy and desperate to be picked up. God, I needed him just to stay together for a little longer. I couldn't take him in my arms, but I couldn't leave him behind either. With nowhere to go, I ran down and entered the storage room. There was the temptation to stop once I hit the bottom. Down there, the air was thicker, and the sounds of my breathing were muted, somehow distant. But I only had to look back up to see 3 pairs of eyes glowing down at me. Opening it, I saw what looked like your average standard storage room, only most of the shelves have been overturned and the food left to rot on the floor. 1 or 2 shelving units were still upright, though, and their shelves were covered in tall, opaque boxes that made them a fantastic hiding spot. That, I decided, would have to be where I crouched down and turned off my light. I was already inside when I realized that wasn't all that was in there. The door almost looked normal. I could see why Daniel must have been confused by it, because it looked a little bit like all the other doors down there. But it was different, too. It was too tall and too wide, and about 1.5 feet off the ground, and the metal rusted in its entirety like it had aged out of sync with everything else down there. All around the jamb was a profusion of wet, soppy moss-like, the kind you'd find hanging off trees in a swamp, and every few seconds the door would leak something strange and oily, like the kind of thing you'd find in a parking lot on a raining day. Of course, that wasn't too strange in itself, but the leak was horizontal, defying gravity, so that every few seconds a large glob of the stuff would whip across the room and slap onto the wall opposite, creating a puddle about the size of a man that just defied all reason. Remembering Daniel's words about radiation, I instinctively inched away from this puddle and the door on the opposite wall, backing myself into the quietest, darkest corner I could, while I pulled Ripley behind me and hoped to hell he wouldn't give me away. Once I was there, I turned off my light and waited. I must have taken longer than I thought to hide Spot, because it was barely 2 seconds later when the few figures entered the room. It was pitch black after I turned off my torch, but they made enough noise to let me know that at least 2 of them had stumbled in after me. I stayed there, unable to see anything, not sure if they were heading straight for me or just getting ready to leave, forced to hold out and let luck decide my fate. When I finally heard something scrape against the wall barely 2 feet from where I stood, I gave up and switched my light on, desperate to know what was coming for me. The sound had been terribly misleading. Daniel Vance was no more than 6 inches away from my face. "Get out," he hissed from a toothless and cracked mouth. A living corpse just like the others. Somehow a flash of intelligence remained inside those wide, terrified eyes. And then I heard it, the creaking of a door. And without even thinking, I turned the light and saw it on the wall. I saw it open, and behind the strange steel there was more than just plain old concrete. Much more. I saw a raging gullet of flesh, a ringed tube of pulsing muscle lined with teeth the size of hands. A spiraling descent into madness. Hot, fetid air washed into the room, buffeting me and the rotting corpses, all of us paralyzed by what we were seeing, even if for most of the figures, besides Daniel and myself, they didn't have eyes to see with. "What the fuck?" I muttered, unable to take my eyes away from the flesh tube beyond that doorway. "It's coming," Daniel whispered as he grabbed me with one fist and hurled me out of the room. I hit the floor and skidded along with a slick fluid left by Vance's footprints, the smell of which turned my stomach. Perhaps the worst detail was that it was cold. I didn't know why, I just expected whatever oozed off them to be feverishly hot. But it wasn't. It soaked my shirt like I'd fallen into a muddy puddle. "It's coming." The voice wasn't Daniel's. I couldn't say for sure, but it sounded like a child's whisper. One by one, the bodies shuffled over to the open door and knelt before it. I didn't know why, but I got the impression the others had lost pretty much everything left of their minds, but Daniel remained aware. He looked back at me once more and spoke before he pressed his head onto the door in supplication with the others. The only thing we did wrong was being here for it to torture. It didn't need a reason, just an opportunity. Leave. It won't let us go. It won't even let us die. And if it catches you, it won't let you go either. His forehead kissed the dirt, and then something reached through the door and gripped his head in its palm, the way you or I might pick up an apple. In full panic, I ran over and grabbed my dog and the bolt cutters, and I ran like my legs were pistons, machines whose signals of exhaustion and fatigue could not slow me down or cause me to fall. I had to move. I had to leave. The hand that gripped Daniel, the sight of it flushed my mind clean like some kind of enema. It hurt to see the image replay in my mind, but there was nothing else in my head echoing around except the sight of fingers with one too many knuckles and nails as large as a smartphone. I reached the top floor and nearly collapsed from breathlessness, but I wouldn't let myself stay down for long. I crawled over to the ladder and climbed up and immediately went to work trying to cut the metal lock. It was hell with just one hand, the other clinging to the torch that I kept frantically pointing at the door behind me, and it wasn't long before I fumbled one too many times and dropped my only source of light. No, 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 I mewed. But there was no time to look for it. I had to get out, and I had to get out fast. I couldn't see, but I was sure I could hear something climbing up those stairs. Not the steady thump-thump of human feet. No, this was different. This was the rapid pitter-patter of a spider, maybe. Something with hundreds of feet or hands, or God knows what, skittering along the floor and walls and ceiling, pulling itself along with a body whose mere shape would offend God. Using all my strength, I leaned hard on the bolt cutters, and at last the bolt gave. I threw the hatch open and got just enough ambient light to see Ripley hovering at the bottom of the ladder, growling ineffectually at the doorway. I crouched down, scooped him up, and fled up the ladder so quickly that my muscles turned to jelly at the top and I fell over, onto hands and knees. But still, I was out. The long corridor, covered in writing, was ahead of me, and at the very end a doorway capped now by the tired blue light of the full moon. Ripley needed no encouragement. He whipped down the corridor with canine speed, and I followed him at a broken and stumbling crawl, eventually shouldering past the open door and collapsing onto the forest floor. For a few seconds I drifted in and out of consciousness, but when I looked up and saw the canopy overhead moving like branches backlit by a full moon, I snapped awake and glared down at something gripping my ankle. The hand had reached out of the dark and seized me, and was slowly dragging me back into the earth below. Whatever it was, most of its body lurked out of sight in the shadows behind the doorway, but the hand that crushed my leg was the size of my torso, with an arm that looked like it belonged to a mole rat. I struck at it with my own fist. I dug my nails in. I cried and kicked and screamed, but nothing could stop it. From behind the door, something like a face grinned and leered at me with joy. It was taking its time, sure enough, pulling me in so slowly that it gave my mind all the time in the world to appreciate the nightmare that awaited me. I think if, in that moment, you'd given me a gun, I would have shot myself, because God help me, I couldn't escape the look in Daniel's eyes. How he knelt to worship this thing like a man who knew that hope, or pride, or joy, or anything with even a hint of goodness to it was so far out of reach to him that it might as well be a dream. How long was this thing going to keep them down there? How long did it intend to keep me? I wept like a child, feeling like my mind was slowly cracking as I tried everything to stop that fucking pulling me into the shadows. I kicked at the earth. I dug into it using my hands, looking for a root or a pipe or anything to hold onto. Nothing I did would slow it down. I was no more than a foot away from the doorway when Ripley reappeared. A dog afraid of hoovers and plastic bags and doors that moved on their own. A dog who got stared down by a particularly feisty rabbit who stopped mid-chase and turned around, baffling the predator on its tail. A dog you couldn't even watch scary movies around. And he lunged at that arm like he was a wolf, like he'd always been one. And while he didn't quite break the skin, the pressure was enough to make the thing's grip weaken, and I slid my leg out. Unable to stand, I knelt and grabbed the dog and pulled as hard as I could, and now that fucking thing bled at last as the pressure of jaws and sliding teeth ripped into its flesh. Together at last, Ripley and I were let go and sent rolling backwards head over heels. I wasted no time waiting or looking or processing. I heaved the dog onto my chest and crawled until I passed out, making it maybe half a kilometer away. Only when I could no longer see the door did I let myself fall to the ground face first and gave up consciousness. The doctors said I had pneumonia, which I suppose made some sort of sense. I might have even believed them were it not for the sheriff's visit, asking strange questions of me as I lay in bed about what I may or may not have seen. I dismissed them to the best of my ability. I wasn't interested in chasing that particular nightmare down, figuring out that if it had been real or not. At least, not while I lay there half drowning in my own infection. To be fair, I had some sort of sympathy for why the police had done so little to seal that place off. I have, on occasion, thought about going and doing the job myself, but to this day I still have nightmares about being pulled into the dark beyond that door. Not just the bunker door, the one I narrowly avoided at the end, but the one below. What I saw was a kind of madness, I'm sure of it, and I often think of Daniel's words. It didn't need a reason, just an opportunity. Somehow the Vances were that opportunity. Maybe they built their bunker on a ley line or a weak spot between dimensions or the site of a former satanic rituals. But I'm not sure it even matters. They went into the dark thinking it'd be a safe place to wait out the world's troubles. But something had been down there waiting for them, waiting for a chance to get at a family of 7 people, to lock them in and deprive them of any escape and slowly take them from everything it could. I've moved since then. Couldn't help it. It was just the memories, you see. It was the shortwave radio I kept in my basement, something my father passed on to me when he was just a boy. When I was just a boy. God, I'd forgotten about it, at least until I woke up one day to the sound of it blaring white noise down in the dark. And buried in that sound was the faint whispering of a man, his voice barely recognizable, but unmistakably his. Let them go. 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 Let them go.
The end! Bum ba bum! Yay! Let's bring the BGM back so we can just relax. Holy shit! Let it go! Let it go! I'm one with the wind! Yeah! Jesus Christ! Holy shit! Oh my god! Who cares if that's a family heirloom? I'd smash that radio in a heartbeat. I wouldn't even go down there. I'd just be out. I'd just be like, nah, I'm leaving. Fuck that shit. Goodbye. Good dog, though. Good dog. We love the dog. The doggo was good. The doggo saved the protagonist's life. Oh my gosh. Ripley, good doggo. Best doggo. I love Ripley. What a sweetheart. I burped in fear. Alright, you can now do a 3 a.m. challenge. What 3 a.m. challenge should I do? I don't want to do it. I'm too scared now. Now I'm freaked out. Oh my gosh. And the fact that the Vances are still down there, that freaks me out. That's like Eldritch horror right there. Like the gaping maw, the weird flesh tube. That's Eldritch. Is that not Eldritch? This guy. They just opened the door to like Cold Garotha's fucking dimension or something. I don't know. What do you call Eldritch horror? That's just a random words that I made. I swear I can hear the sounds of those hands scurrying up the ladder. Stop it! I'm freaking out. I don't know why, but I pictured Ripley as a Shiba Inu for some reason. What was it? They described Ripley. Hold on. They described what Ripley looked like breed-wise. Where was it? Dun, 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 dun. Where is it? It's up here. Okay, it's half Bernese, half Border Collie. I don't know what a Bernese looks like. Hold on, I'm searching up what that looks like. Bernese. Oh, okay. So it's like a medium dog. It's a medium dog. Oh, it was way off. Yeah, it's not quite a Shiba Inu. It's quite a bit larger than I expected. You know, because they were talking about how Ripley was like a little baby, right? I thought Ripley was like a little baby dog. Broccoli? Border Collie. My brain was thinking Ripley was just a scrunkly little boy. Man, the protagonist must be really strong then. He like carried that dog one arm up a ladder. How did you do that? I can't even carry myself up a ladder. I make dubstep. Let's go. I'm so freaked out. Do you guys want to read the other story as well? I think we have time. We can read the other story as well. I think this one is it shorter? It does seem like it's a lot shorter than the other story, so we can probably read it if you guys want. What do you guys think? It was very 50-50, so we can read this one as well. Yes, of course. Take a bathroom break. Take a bathroom break. Everyone, take a break. Drink some water. Go to the bathroom, and we'll read this right after. Right? We'll read this right after. When you gotta save the good boy at all costs, you'll have the strength of 100 men. Is this like when pregnant ladies? Like, I remember reading an article where like they were like, if a pregnant lady, sorry, not necessarily pregnant, if a mother has like their child trapped beneath a car, they would lift the car. They would flip the car. They have the ability to. Your brain like unlocks your muscles and like it doesn't care if you get hurt anymore, and you can just flip a car over. That's crazy. Is that the kind of vibe we're getting here? I'll go make some tacos. Yeah, go make some tacos. Go make some tacos. How long does it take to make tacos? Adrenaline. My brain doesn't work anymore. So what you're saying is mothers are berserkers. Hold on, have you guys seen that movie? Have you guys seen that movie? Hold on, let me try find it. What's it called? The movie. There's like one movie about a family surviving, like, I forgot if it was like an alien invasion or something. It's like technology starts fighting back kind of thing. I remember watching it. The Mitchells versus the Machines, that one. The Mitchells versus the Machines. Yes. Where the mom just goes absolutely crazy and kills like a bunch of robot guys. It's very funny. It's very funny. That's her. She's a berserker. She has to be a berserker. Have you guys watched it? It's really good. I watched it once by myself. It was really cool. It was really cool. It was really cool. I don't know. It's really sweet. It gets a little cringy, but like it's very sweet. It's very sweet overall. Your muscles work at only like 40% strength because if they worked at 100, they would get damaged constantly, and the adrenaline helps remove this limit. Yeah! If you put the Doom music over it, it's perfect. Yeah, I saw that video. That video is what made me watch the movie. I didn't even know about this movie until I watched the video. It's called like When the Doom Music Kicks In. It's just that clip of the mom like destroying robots. It's very funny. I'll see if I can find it and I'll post it on the Discord. Where is it? Is it this one? Oh, there's so many of them. There's so many videos. I don't know which one's the actual one, so I'm just gonna hold off for now. But it's very nice. You guys should up. Yeah. Yuuka, where's the cookie that you owe me? No, you're never getting it back. I've already digested it. It's already a part of me. I'm a 90s baby. That's fair. That's understandable. I'm not exactly a 90s baby. I'm like a 2000s baby. I think. Yeah. What? I watch one for nobody. Huh? What? What? Oof. Why oof? Why oof? Why oof? Why are you guys oofing? What's wrong? You are baby. Maybe I am baby. Maybe I am baby. I keep forgetting that most of you guys are older than me. I don't know why. It just seems like we all have like the same interests, you know? So I just assume everyone's like similar age to me. But I guess a lot of you guys are actually older than me. It's weird. It's weird. Is this what you're looking for? Yes, I think that's it. I think that's it right there. I'm hesitant to play it because I'm scared I'll get copyright striked. But that's it, I think. That's it. Yuuka bear? No, Yuuka oof. Why? Why? Indeed, Yuuka is Babby. I'm tempted to say I'm not Babby, but I guess in this context, I guess I am Babby. I'm Babby. I'm just gonna take a drink of water. We'll start soon. Have you guys... I know this is a little bit pointless to ask because those people that are in the bathroom right now, they probably can't answer. But how are your bathroom breaks going? Are you guys done with bathroom or not? Can you describe taste? Taste is like smelling, but with your mouth and more intensely, I think. Wait, Yuuka isn't a figment? A what? A figment of my imagination? I'm not losing my mind? Yeah, I'm actually real. I know, right? Did you like take your meds and realize I didn't disappear or something? Wow, what the fuck? Right? Pee break was good. Okay, that's great, that's great. I'm glad you guys are having good pee breaks. I can't go because it's occupied. Alright. Alright, do your best, hang in there. Lots of people are watching you in the bathroom, Yuuka. I think we're good to go for the second story whenever you're good to go. Okay, we're good to go for the second story. Alright. Is everybody ready? Say no in chat if you're not in chat. Thank you, Dark Knight Auric, for the super chat. Arigato! Weird segue for koalas. Have you ever watched the Velocipaster? No, I assume. Wow, that sounds like a fun movie. That sounds like a fun movie. Is it a velociraptor? But it's a pastor? A religious velociraptor? No. All right, you guys aren't ready. All right, later. We'll wait a little longer. I'm cooking pizza. Why are you cooking like that? You're robot cooking pizza. Oh, I've never seen it either. Oh no, not the Velocipaster. I keep saying it wrong. I keep trying to say Velociraptor, but it's a Velocipaster. Hold on, I'm gonna search it up. Velocipaster. The Velocipaster 2018. All right, let me read the description here. After losing his parents, a priest travels to China where he inherits a mysterious ability that allows him to turn into a dinosaur. At first horrified by his new power, a hooker convinces him to use it to fight crime and ninjas. Whoa! Whoa! What the fuck? That's wild! Now that is a hook. That's how to get someone interested in a movie. A hooker, a real hook. This movie has it all. It's got ninjas, dinosaurs, pastors, dead parents, a hooker. What the fuck? What the fuck? That sounds absolutely wild. I'm hooked. Yes, I'm hooked as well. The writing is deliberately terrible. The acting, it's amazing. Is it amazing or terrible? Yuuka, are you secretly a ninja? Me? No, I'm not a ninja. I don't even know how to walk good. Yuuka, while we're waiting for people to be ready, can you read part 2 of 5 Cuddles with Foxy? No, I'm not gonna read any more of 5 Cuddles with Foxy. No. No. I'm sorry. Alright. Are you guys ready? It's been like 10 minutes now. It's been like 15 minutes, I think. It's in the so bad it's good category. Like that one movie about the bird. The birds? Birdpocalypse. Was it Birdpocalypse? What is it called? Birdemic. Birdemic. Sharknado. Oh, how much did Birdemic cost? 10,000 bucks. Let's go. That's expensive for a self-made film, but like, damn, that's pretty good. That's value. Birdemic. Did you guys like Birdemic? I haven't watched it. Yeah, I'm not done making my lasagna. I'm just gonna go on it. Lasagna's gonna take at least an hour, right? Let's just read it. Let's just read it. Birdemic? Isn't that like every other day with how much Yuuka yells at birds? Yeah. I mean, it's getting colder recently, so I'm seeing less birds nowadays. Funky. All the budget probably went into the CGI birds. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well. I am back. Are we talking about Birdemic? Yeah, we love Birdemic. What a great movie. Well, yeah. It is spooky time. Spooky time. You guys ready for spooky time? I just cracked my foot muscles. My foot muscles? I just cracked my foot knuckles. I said muscles for some reason. I'm sorry. My brain is not working too good. It's overheated. I'm reading too much. Alright. This is Something Walks Whistling Past My House Every Night at 3:03 by Grand Theft Motto. I heard that. Oh, you heard my foot knuckle. Oh, goodness. How embarrassing. I didn't think it would crack so loudly. I didn't think my table would amplify it. I'm sorry, everyone. That's kind of gross. My bad. Alright.
Every night, no matter the weather, something walks down our street, whistling softly. You can only hear it if you're in the living room or the kitchen when they walk by, and it always starts at exactly 3:03. The sound starts faint, somewhere near the beginning of the lane near the Carson place. We're towards the middle of the street, so the whistling moves past us before fading away in the direction of the cul-de-sac. When I was younger, my sister and I would sneak into the kitchen some nights to listen. Mom and Dad didn't like that, and we'd catch hell if they found us out there, but they were never too hard on us since we always stuck to one big rule. Don't try to look at whatever was whistling. My neighborhood is a funny place. I've lived there since I was 6 and I love it. The houses are small but well kept, good-sized yards, plenty of spaces to roam. There are also a lot of other kids my age here. I turned 13 back in October. We grew up together, and we would always play Foursquare in the cul-de-sac or roam around from back porch to back porch in the summer. This was a good place to grow up. I'm old enough to see it. And there's only the two strange things here, the night whistling and the good luck. The whistling never bothered me much. Like I said, I couldn't even hear it from my bedroom, but Mom and Dad don't like talking about it, so I've stopped asking questions. My dad is a strong guy, tall and calm. He has an accent since he moved to the US as a kid. His family, my grandparents, they're from the islands. That's what they call it. My dad, the only time he isn't so calm is if the whistler shows up. He talks a little bit quicker then. Eyes move faster, and he tells us not to think about it so much and to always remember the one rule, the big rule. Don't try to look outside when the whistler goes past. Not that we even could if we wanted. See, there are shutters on the inside of every window, thick pieces of heavy canvas that pull down from the top and latch onto the bottom of the window frame. Each latch even has a small lock, about the size of what you'd find on a diary. My dad locks those shutters every night before we go to bed and keeps the key in his room. My mom, I don't know what she thinks about the whistling. I've seen her out in the living room before at 3:03 when the sound starts. I could see her if I cracked my door open just an inch to peek. She's not out there often. At least I haven't caught her much. But once or twice a month, I think she sits out there on our big red couch just listening. The whistler has the same tune every night. It's cheerful. Remember how I said there are 2 odd things about where I live? Well, besides our night whistler, everyone in my neighborhood is really lucky. It's hard to explain, and Dad doesn't like us talking about this part much either. But good things just seem to happen to people around here a lot. Usually it's small things, like winning a radio contest, or getting an unexpected promotion at work, or finding some arrowheads buried in the yard. You know, the authentic kind. The weather is pretty good, and there's no crime, and everyone's gardens bloom extra bright in the fall. A million little blessings, I've heard my mom say about living here, but the main reason we stay here, why we moved here in the first place, is my sister Nola. She was born very sick, something with her lungs. We couldn't even bring her home when she was born, only visit her in the hospital. She was so small, I remember, small even compared to the other babies. A machine had to breathe for her. We moved into our house to be closer to the hospital. As soon as we moved here, Nola started getting better. The doctors couldn't figure it out. They chalked it up to being whatever they were doing, but we could all tell they were confused. But my parents knew. Even I knew. Nola getting better was just another one of the million little blessings we got for living in our neighborhood. So that's why we stayed, even after we found out that for every small miracle that happens here every day, now and then some bad things happen, but they only happen if you look for the whistler. See, our neighborhood has a welcoming committee. They show up with macaroni casserole and a gift basket and a manila folder whenever someone new moves in. They're very friendly. 4 people showed up when we moved in 7 years ago. The committee made small talk, gave us Snickers bars, and took turns in holding Nola. It was her first week out of the hospital, so they were extra careful. Then the committee asked to speak to my parents in private. so I was sent to my room where I still managed to hear nearly every word. The welcoming committee told my parents about how nice the neighborhood was. Really, exceptionally hard to explain kind of nice. And then they told my parents about the even harder to explain whistling that happened every morning at 3:03 and ended at the tick of 3:05. The group, our new neighbors, warned my parents that the whistling was quiet and would never harm or hurt us as long as we didn't look for what was making the sound. This part they stressed, and I pushed my ear into the door, straining to hear them. People who went looking for the whistler had their luck change, sometimes tragically. A black cloud would hang over anyone that looked. Anything that could go wrong would. The manila envelope the committee brought over contained newspaper clippings, stories about car crashes and ruined lives, public deaths and freak accidents. Not everyone dies, I heard the head of the committee tell my dad, but the life goes out of them. Even if they live, there's no light in them ever again. No presence. My mom, I could tell she wasn't taking it seriously. She kept asking if this was some kind of prank they play on new neighbors. At one point, my mom got so angry, she accused the committee of trying to scare us out of our new home, asked them if they were racist on account of my dad being from the islands. My dad calmed her down, told her he could tell our new neighbors were sincere, and they were just trying to help us. He explained that he grew up hearing these kinds of stories from his mom, and he knew that there were strange things that walked among us. Some of those strange things were good, and some were bad, but most were just different. After the committee left, Dad went out to the hardware store, bought the canvas blinds, the latches, the locks, and installed them on every window of the house after dinner. The first night in our new house, I crept out of my room at 3 a.m., only to find my dad awake sitting on the living room couch, holding my baby sister. My dad held up his finger in a shh motion, but patted the couch next to him. I sat, and we waited. At exactly 3:03, we heard the whistling. It came, and then it went, just like our neighbors said. The whistling returned each night, and we never look, and we enjoy our million little blessings every day. Nola breathes on her own, and she's grown into a strong, clever girl. My dad even joined the welcoming committee. We don't get new neighbors often. Why would anyone want to leave? But when a new family moves in, my dad and the committee bring them a macaroni casserole, a gift basket, and the manila folder. I can always tell by the look on my dad's face when he comes back if the family took the committee seriously or if we'd be getting new neighbors again very soon. Not long ago, a family moved directly next to us. The previous owner, Miss Maddie, passed away at age 105. She'd lived a long, good life. Our new neighbors seemed like they'd fit in just fine. They believed the welcoming committee, took my dad's advice about locking shutters since they had a young child of their own. Whatever newspaper clippings were in that manila envelope, whatever evidence my dad never let us see, but I imagine it must be awfully convincing since our neighbors get along with no issues for the first month. One night, when our new neighbors had to leave town, they left their son Holden to play with us. He was 12, a year under me in school. I didn't know him well before that night, but as soon as his parents dropped him off after dinner, I could tell it was going to be a bad time. "Do you know who's out there whistling every night?" Holden asked me the moment the adults left the room. The three of us were sitting in the den, some Disney movie playing idly on the television. My sister and I exchanged a glance. "We don't talk about that," I said. "I think it's that weirdo that lives in the big yellow house on the corner," Holden said. "Mr. Tolles?" my sister asked. "No way, he's really nice." Holden shrugged. "Must be a psycho killer then." Nola tensed. "We don't talk about it," I repeated. "Let's go in my room and play Nintendo." We spent the next few hours playing games, eating popcorn, and then watching movies. A typical sleepover, but I could see Holden was getting angsty. Antsy. Sorry. My bad. After my parents had wished us a good night, locked the blinds, and gone to bed, Holden stood up from his beanbag and walked over to where Nola and I were sitting on our bed. "Have you ever tried looking?" he asked. "It's nearly time." Like most sleepovers, we'd conveniently ignored any suggestion of a bedtime. I was shocked to see he was right. It was almost 3 a.m. I sighed. "We don't... See, I can't even try to look because my dad locks the blinds every night and hides the key," he continued, ignoring me. "So does our dad," said Nola. "No," replied Holden. "No, he doesn't." "You saw him do it," I said, a little sharper than I meant to sound. Holden grinned. "Your dad locks the blinds, yeah, but he doesn't hide the key. He keeps it right on his normal keychain." "So?" I asked, worried that I already knew what he would say next. Because I noticed my dad didn't bother hiding the key anymore after all of these years, because he knew we took it seriously.
So after your dad locked up, but before your parents went to bed, I went to the bathroom. And on my way, I may have peeked into their rooms and I may have seen your dad's keychain on his nightstand. And I maybe went and borrowed the key to the blinds.
Noel and I stared, and his grin only grew wider. You're lying, I said.
Holden shrugged. You can check if you want. Just open your parents' door and look. You'll see his keychain right there on the nightstand.
Stay there. Stay here, I told both of them. Don't move a muscle. I hurried over to my parents' room, but hesitated at the door. If Holden wasn't lying, my dad would be angry. Beyond angry. I was scared thinking about it, but more scared of an open window with the whistler right outside. I opened the door barely an inch, and I looked in, but it was too dark to see. Taking a deep breath, I walked into the room. 2 steps into the dark, I froze. The whistling started, and I could hear it clearly from my parents' room. I never realized, but they must have heard the sound every night since we moved into the house. They never told us. I don't think I could have slept through it. I stood there, listening to the whistling come closer, unsure whether I should turn on a light or call out for my dad. Soft sounds from the living room brought me back to reality. "Nola!" I yelled, running out of the parents' room. Holden and Nola was standing near the front door, next to a window. Holden wasn't lying. I could see him fumbling with the lock in one of the blinds. I heard a click. He did have the key. Holden let out a quick laugh. Nola stood next to him, hunched up, afraid, but maybe curious. The whistling was right outside our house now. I think I made a sound, called out. I can't remember. Time felt frozen, clocks nailed to the face. But I found myself moving. I'm not fast. I've never been athletic. Somehow, though, I covered the space between myself and Nola in a moment. My eyes were locked on her, but I heard Holden pull the blind all the way down so it could release. I heard the snap of it start to raise, and I heard the whistling just on the other side of the window. But I had my arms around Nola, and I turned us so she was facing away. At the same time, I jammed my eyes shut. The blind whipped open. The whistling stopped. I felt Nola shaking in my arms. "Don't look, okay?" I told her. "Don't turn around." We were positioned so that she was facing back towards the hallway and I was facing the window. My eyes were still closed. I felt her nod into my shoulder. I reached out with the arm not holding Nola as I tried to touch Holden. My hand brushed up against his arm. He was shaking worse than Nola. "Holden?" I asked. Silence. I reached past him and gently felt for the window, eyes still sealed shut. The glass was cold against my fingertips, colder than it should have been for that time of year. I moved my hand up the window, searching for the string to the blind. The glass began to get warmer the further I reached, and there was a gentle hum feeding back into my fingertips. I tried not to think about what might be on the other side of the window. Finally, I touched the string and yanked the blinds shut. I opened my eyes. In the dim light leaking out from the kitchen, I could make out Holden, pale and small, staring at the now closed window. "Holden?" I asked again. He turned towards me and he screamed. Everything became a flurry of motion. Lights sparked to life in the hall, then the living room. My parents' footsteps thudded across the hardwood floor. I didn't turn to look back at them. My eyes were glued on Holden. He was pale. He had bitten his lips so hard that a thin line of red blood was running down his chin, and he'd wet himself. "What happened?" my dad asked from behind me. I managed to swivel back away from Holden and look back. He looked. I'd never seen my dad scared before, but I saw it in that night. In that moment, an old, ugly terror stitched onto his face, a parent's fear. "Just Holden?" he mouthed to me. I nodded. "Yes." My dad let out a breath. He looked so relieved I nearly expected him to cheer, but then he turned to Holden, and my dad's face changed. I wonder if he felt bad for feeling good that Holden was the only one that looked. There was a knock at the door. We all froze. Holden whimpered. "Don't answer it," my mom said. She stood at the threshold of the hall. I'd always thought she was a skeptic and just humored my dad about the windows and the whistler, but that night we were all believers. I noticed that both of my parents held baseball bats. They must have taken from their bedroom. The knock came again, a little louder this time. "Please don't open the door," Holden whispered. My dad walked over to him, hugged him close. "We won't," my dad promised, still holding his bat. "Nothing is coming in here tonight." Thud, thud, thud. This time the knocking was loud enough to rattle the door. Holden screamed again, and Nola clutched her arms around my neck. My mom came over and knelt down next to us, wrapping my sister and me close. Thud, thud, thud. "Call the police," my mom whispered to my dad. The knocking stopped instantly. My dad looked over his shoulder at us. "Do you think—" He was cut off by frantic knocking that trailed to a polite tap, tap, tap. "Police," something said from the other side of the door. The voice from outside sounded exactly like my mom, like a parrot repeating the words back to her. "Police. Call the police." Tap, tap, tap. "Police." My mom pulled us closer. "Police, police, police, police." "Please stop," I heard her whisper. I don't think calling them will help, my dad said. How will we know when they're the ones at the door? The knocking came back harder than before. The door shook, then it stopped. After a long moment, I heard the knocking again, but it was coming from our back door. We all turned together towards the back door, but then the knocking immediately returned to the front door. Front to back to front, loud and then quiet, then loud again. Suddenly, the sound was coming from both doors at once. Big, heavy blows like a sledgehammer. Then something started rapping against all of our windows in the house, then the walls. It was like we were living inside a drum with 1,000 people trying to play at once. Or we were a turtle, and something was trying to claw us out of our shell. "Stop!" Holden yelled. The knocking died. "I won't tell," Holden said, staring at the door. "I promise I won't tell anyone what I saw. Please just go away." We waited for nearly a minute, then we heard it. A soft tap, tap, tap coming from the window Holden had looked through earlier. Holden started to cry, sobbing like a prisoner watching gallows being built outside their cell. My dad held him, brushed his hair, but never lied to him, never told him things would be okay. The tapping at the window went on for the rest of the night. We huddled together in the living room for I don't know how long. Eventually, my mom tried to take us kids into my room, while my dad stayed to watch the door. But the second we moved into my bedroom, the knocking came back, so loud it was impossible to ignore. I was afraid the other door couldn't take it. I went back to the living room and the knocking stopped. Only the tap-tap on the window remained. None of us slept that night. The tapping stopped at around 7 a.m. That's about the time the sun comes up here. We waited another 2 hours before my dad opened the blinds from one window. He made us all go back to my parents' bedroom first. I heard him open the door, then come back in. "Okay," he told us. "It's done." Holden's parents came back around lunchtime. My mom and dad walked Holden over to his house, and they all went inside for quite a while. Nola and I watched from the window. She stuck to me the whole day, right at my side, sometimes holding my hand. When my parents came back, they looked grim, but they wouldn't tell us what they said to Holden's family. It was a Sunday, so we all spent the day together, ordered pizza, and watched movies. That night, everyone slept in my room. Nola and my mom were in the bed with me, my dad in a chair he'd pulled over. There was no knocking that night or any night since. We didn't see Holden or his parents for the rest of that week, but by Thursday there was a moving truck in their driveway. Nola and I watched them packing up the whole afternoon after school. What sticks with me most is how tired Holden and his parents looked. All three had the same pallor, grim mouths, and lightless eyes. Even from across the street I could tell that something was very wrong. Holden and his family had gone before sunset. I remember what the original welcoming committee said to my parents when we moved in. Not everyone who looks at the Whistler dies, but even those that live here. Even those that live have the light go out of them, and the rest of their lives are full of misfortune. A million little tragedies. I think Holden's parents must have looked either to comfort them if they didn't believe, or share in the burden if they did. I watch Nola some days, happy and young and alive, and wonder if I'd been slower. If she'd look out the window that night, would I have looked too, to comfort her, to share that burden? I'm glad I don't have to find out. We still live in that house, in that neighborhood. We still hear our Whistler walking past every night. The blessings, the luck, the good things here are too good to leave. But we're careful. We don't have friends over to spend the night anymore. My dad hides the keys to the blind very, very well. Not that I've gone looking. Some things you just don't need to look for.
The end! Yay! It was a lot shorter than the other story, huh? But it's still really creepy. I feel like the fact that, I live in a house instead of, being out there walking around in the woods with a dog. This one is a little more close to, pardon the pun, but it hits a bit closer to home. That's very scary. The Whistler is just a fat streaker who scars people for life. No! No, surely not. But then how would he give them the luck, right? The Whistler is Yuuka when she's hungry. What do you mean? I can't even whistle. Look at this. It's not me. It can't be me. Imagine camping and having these told to you. Oh, I would sob. I would cry. That would be it. I would be in my tent for the rest of the year. They would have to carry me in my tent back home. How to maximize the fear of looking out dark windows. Yeah, I get that fear too. It's so scary, honestly. When visibility is low, and like the window is just right there, it's so freaky. It's so freaky deaky. I literally can't even walk past a mirror to go to the bathroom. I mentioned this before, but like I have to walk past a mirror to get to my bathroom, and it's always so fucking scary because they're always like, "Ooh, mirrors, demons," and it's like, ah, I don't want to look at the mirror. But like, if I don't look at the mirror, what if there actually is a demon there and it kicks my ass? You know, it's scary. It's scary. Yuuka, I hear someone knocking on your door. Is that the Whistler or Meatloaf? I'm sure it's Meatloaf. I haven't seen the Whistler. The Whistler doesn't even exist here. I've been up for like the entire night and I've never heard a single whistle. I hate mirrors in the dark. It's so freaky. Like, I remember reading the story about like some person like if you stare into a mirror at night, you'll find out how you die, kind of thing. Wait a minute, Yuuka was whistling earlier. No, I was not. I was not whistling. I barely whistle. Look, this is the best I can do when it comes to whistling. That's the best I got. I can't make a cute tone, you know? I can't sing a jaunty melody with my whistles. It's just single note. Okay? It's just single note. Boo. Ah! It's got no eyeballs. That's freaky deaky. I have no mouth, but I must teapot. But I have a mouth. Look. Ah! I have a mouth. Wow, I found a worse whistler than me. Let's go. Let's make a bad whistlers club. Let's go. Were you just doing a sea shanty just now? No, I was not. It was not even. It wasn't even a song. It was just a single note. She does, in fact, have a mouth. Yeah, I use this mouth to eat stuff. It's great. Do you exhale or inhale when you whistle? I exhale. I used to only be able to do it on the inhale, but then I forgot how to do it on the inhale, so now I only can do it on the exhale. If it makes you feel better, I can't whistle either. Wow. Yuka's giving us whistling confidence. Yeah, you can do it if you try. You can do it better than me, you know? Ganbatte! Eldritch Horror, 10-hour ASMR vibes. You know, I don't know why. I'm just gonna mention this just like casually, but I kind of want to be a Reddit reader. As you know, as funky as that is, I kind of want to like react to Reddit, but I don't know how I go about doing that. Wait, mouths are used to eat? I thought they were used for pooping. Huh? What are you, a sea urchin? You can Reddit read to us more, but I don't know what to read to you guys besides nosleep. Nosleep is fun. It's like how you do you laugh, you lose. Yeah, like that. I don't know how I go about it though. I feel like it's easier to do Reddit readings when they're when they're edited. When they're not streams. Hello. Reddit can be pretty outrageous. Yeah, you need to like filter that shit, you know? I'm okay. I'm definitely up for reading more spoopy things though, if you guys want to do that. Yeah. Make sure to recommend me some more Analogue horrors to go over. They're fun. They're fun. Thank you again to Dead Josie for recommending this to us. Yeah, it's really cool. The Liminal Land one. Spooky. Do you whistle with your lips or teeth? I whistle with my lips. Lips? I use my tongue as well. I suggest 5 cuddles with Foxy. It's pretty popular stuff. You guys, you're so hung up on 5 cuddles with Foxy. Just go read it yourselves. Alright. Other than that, I guess that's about it for today. Stop talking about 5 cuddles. Yeah, read us some SCP lore. I can read one SCP. We have time for one SCP lore. What do you guys want to listen to? 096 173. Something fun. What's cool? Should we read some of the joke ones? The joke ones are fun. I like the rubber ducky ones. 69. No. Lord, hold on. I've been distracted by something. I'm looking at the jokes section. Large ham. There's an SCP called Very Large Ham. The whole article is written in exclamation marks. What is happening? What did this ham do to everyone? For those curious, SCP-055-DEJ. It's Big Ham. Everyone seems to love this ham. Is it tasty? Classification? Super awesome! That's the classification, so I assume it tastes good, right? SCP-2718 messed me up. Let me see. How do I search? Here we go. I found a search button. 2718. Is it stream friendly, you think? What is this? What is this? SCP-2718. Object class catastrophic abort. Handle not found. Oh, there's bugging out on the screen as well. Funky. Okay, well, I'm not gonna worry about it because it looks like it's gonna freak me out. I'll just hit random and read that one. Where's the random button? We'll read a random one. Random page, go! Random page. This is not an SCP. We're gonna hit random until we find an SCP. Random page. Random page. Right? Go on. Keep sending me to the same place. Hold on. It keeps sending me to the same place. Alright, we'll just read this one. This one that it keeps recommending me when I click random page. Alright. Gosh, alright. This is SCP-3867. Oh. Object class? Euclid. Special containment procedures. Foundation web crawlers are to track and erase any mention of SCP-3867 on the internet. Artificial intelligence construct TSAT has been programmed to monitor the dark web for any information relating to SCP-3867 or its creators. Description: SCP-3867 is an anomalous website under the domain www.scpd.heart named Sweet Cats and Perfect Dogs. When visited, SCP-3867 will load a unique page displaying an image of its visitor's pet and describing the most recent actions taken by the subject of the image. When visited by a subject without a dog or a cat, SCP-3867 will instead display an image and the most recent actions taken by an animal available for adoption at the nearest animal shelter. Subjects will then be prompted to adopt the animal in question, in order to experience these cute moments firsthand. Testing log. Researcher Jade. Sweet cats and perfect dogs. This is a picture of Franklin. You guys can't see it, but if you go into the page, you can see the sweet, cute picture of Franklin. Franklin just snored a little bit, but didn't wake up. He seems to be dreaming about sleeping. What a lazy, lazy boy. Make sure you pet him as soon as you get home. He misses you and wants to sit next to you as you unwind. Be very, very quiet. Subject: Researcher Watts. Notes: Researcher Watts does not own a pet. Sweet cats and perfect dogs. Dexter is pretty sure he just saw something dart across the wall, but he thinks it might have just been that weird bright thing he can never seem to catch. He decided that rather than waste his time in grabbing the sneaky culprit now, he's going to let things play out. Sorry, Dexter, but that thing was just light coming in through the window. If you like Dexter and you want to experience such cuteness in person, you can adopt him from the Chattanooga Cat Rescue, which is where he is currently in a foster home. Subject: Researcher Matthias. Note: Researcher Matthias does not own a pet, but has expressed his parents owned a cat. Result: Sweet cats and perfect dogs. Summer's sunbathing was interrupted by a raindrop. Uh-oh, Summer. You best find somewhere to hide before it really starts coming down. I hear underneath the porch. It's nice and dry. Post-examination notes. It appears that SCP-3867 is capable of identifying other animals the subject is personally attached to. Researcher. Subject. Researcher Alces. Note. Researcher Alces has not owned a pet since age 16. Sweet cats and perfect dogs. Pinto is playing in the fields, passing the time until it's your turn to meet with her again in front of the Rainbow Bridge. She's happy and running to her heart's content. Post-examination notes. Research into a possible connection between SCP-3867 and SCP-3737 is currently ongoing. For context, SCP-3737 is... It's an interdimensional anomaly that manifests as a tropical island. And you can meet household pets there. Yep. Yeah. Anyways. Subject D1221. Note, D1221 was selected for testing due to their history of an animal abuse. Result. Nala wondered why her best friend was putting her in a sack, then wondered why she kept hearing all those funny noises, until she wondered why it was so hard to move all of a sudden. Nala stopped wondering after she stopped breathing. It's a picture of, like, a place where the soil has been overturned, so someone has buried poor Nala in the ground. Post-examination notes. This is the third time the messages condemned subjects who have committed some sort of atrocity towards animals. I'd like to see what would happen when SCP-3867 is tested on someone who has neutralized a large number of them. Subject, Dr. Yeatley. Note, Dr. Yeatley was selected due to their position as lead SCP-1459 researcher. For context, 1459 is... a modified Claw Crane arcade game. I'm not really sure what it does. It has doggies in it, apparently. But yeah, it has doggies in it, and you have to input something. You have to input something, and it will cause the death of the animal in the way that you chose. And then it'll give you a cookie. Oh god. That's terrifying. The result. Stop culling puppies, dick. A blender? Really? It looks like a goddamn Jamba Juice. You will totally go to hell for this. You know, I agree with this SCP. This SCP? Kind of based, honestly. This is a great SCP. I'm a fan, huge fan of this SCP. Calling people who hurt puppies a dick, that's very based. I love that. That's huge. Please haunt them and cause them a untimely demise as well. Very good. Wonder where Aiden gets all his cookies from. I don't like what this implies. Oh no! Aiden! Uh-oh. Wow. Anyways, thank you everyone so much for coming to stream today. It's been really fun, and I've learned a lot of things. I don't think I'm gonna be sleeping tonight. Anyways, I'll catch you guys some other time, okay? Try to ignore the fact that you've eaten Aiden's cookies. You didn't know, so it's okay, right? It's okay. You didn't know. It's not your fault. Bye-bye. Good night. Sweet dreams. Remember, you'll probably be fine. Just make sure not to look at the whistler. You'll be okay. You'll be blessed with good luck. No worries. Right. Good night. Mwah, 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 mwah. Again. Bye-bye! Take care. Make sure to drink some water and stuff. Yeah! Sorry, I keep looking over because I keep thinking I see something in the corner of my eyes, but it's okay. It's nothing. I hope it's nothing. Anyways, bye-bye! If I'm dead tomorrow, tell my parents I love them? Yep. Bye-bye!